Run it, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem damn bad. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed in heaven, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up, I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities are never come unless you paying attention, so no, I can't miss that. Moving, MVP, I got the record, I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them. This is my ship, I'm a jacket like Letterman, y'all better not let them in. They gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling, started a chain. The cycle is heaven sent, this is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit. I'm a pit bull in this element, yeah. Said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah. I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch out, step in it, yeah. And I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here. Watch out, touchdown, pulling plans out the clutch. Everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now. Have to work something, cause I had layoff.
Wait, put it away. Cause you know I hustle, I keep on the bottom of my way. You ain't done it so many times, now you know we well. Making a move, this is the life that I choose. What else do I gotta lose? Thinking I'm walking my shoes.
Oh, what is going on, everybody, and welcome to the Nights at the Roundtable. This is the playoff edition. As you guys already know, the New York Yankees, I think they won the East, so that means they are in the postseason. Ladies and gentlemen, smack that like, hit that subby like you've never done before in your life. And let me go ahead and tell you guys the panel, since you've never seen these guys before. To my, what the hell will this be? What is this? My left.
It would be your left.
My left. Well, it's my
But I'm
left
to the
now,
right
yeah.
of you on the screen if you
He
look.
said a right of me. Okay, whatever the hell direction you want.
We know we got to be better.
Francis.
Oh man.
Special guest tonight, Aaron Boone. Aaron
Welcome.
Boone, special guest. Francis, what's up, my brother?
What's up, brother? Happy to be here, man, with the most dangerous team in all of Yankees coverage, man.
Real dangerous.
Real dangerous.
Can't stop, won't
Well,
stop.
Hey, yo, take it
that.
easy over there. We ain't that dangerous now. We ain't that dangerous now.
I had to
Kev.
break out the baby
Oh,
oil
man.
tonight.
Oh, no, it's too
Yo.
early.
Oh, my God. We're starting really quick, aren't we? Hey, yo. Kev, what up, my brother?
What's up, guys? What's up, chat? What's up, Christian, my guy, Francis, everybody. Let's get it.
Christian?
Yep. Okay.
Okay, how's he doing?
Okay.
Okay, this guy went to the... You went to the clinching game, right?
No, I was on.
Oh, that was Kev.
Me.
Yeah.
That's
Kev.
right, that was Kev, okay?
I had to
I had-
break my
Kev
curse.
was there when they clinched. Hey, yo, okay?
I had to see
First.
Marcus Stroman give up 9 hits in 2 innings.
Oh, my
Okay,
God.
be careful. Francis is in here. Be careful. Okay, he gets a little angry.
Stroman
Big
defender
Marcus
right
Stroman
here.
guy. Okay, so just saying, you got to take it easy there. But let's get let's get right into this. I did some research today, fellas, and I went back. I did a little research. I went back to the original Nights at the Round Table that we did right before the season began. And I got everybody's win-loss record right here in front of me, okay?
Right in front of you, okay?
As we got a new member of the U, we appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. You know, I'm sick and tired of this AI bullshit that pops up on the screen. It's so stupid.
You want to say his name?
You say it, bro. I am not even trying to. Brother, I apologize. I should have asked the Dominicans on the team. Yeah, we do have people of different colors on this team, by the way.
What's up, my guy? Welcome to the U. Alberi
What was-
Quiroz. Alberi. Watagatapitus Alberi. There you go.
Okay, appreciate you, my guy. But so the New York Yankees win, what was it, 84? Hey, Maron, 94 wins this year.
Yeah.
All right. Here's how we had it before. And if you guys don't say, Pete, come on, I don't think I said that. You said it. I watched it today, okay?
Oh, boy.
You watched it, okay?
I watched it, all right? Pete had 93. Francis had 93.
Oh, wow.
Kev, 95. Christian had 89.
Yeah.
89 wins. At least we were close. But Christian's point was very simple because I remember hearing, I'm like,
was a
89
Cole.
is kind of low. It was all about Garrett Cole. It was like, if he comes back late, we'll get some wins. But yeah, he was right there. So the Yankees do win the East. And I'm just going to go around the room really quickly. I understand that I also had the Orioles winning the division. So I'm wrong on that. The New York Yankees win the division. This was obviously before the season even began. The Yankees winning the division. Surprised, not surprised. There was many times this year where it looked like they had no damn chance. But they end up winning the division by a decent chunk. Francis, I'll start with you. What do you think about the regular season?
I'm not gonna say surprised because I did pick them to win the division.
You did?
I will say I'm surprised at how it happened. Because I predicted it being like a back and forth between them and the Orioles, but like I said last week's All Rise, I didn't predict that the back and forth would be a mid-off. I thought it was going to be two teams playing at the highest level trying to win this division instead of what we got, which was two teams kind of playing hot potato, like, nah, you take it. Nah, you take it. Nah, it's okay. You have it. Like, it ended up being, like I said, two chihuahuas barking from across the street down the stretch. And the funny thing was, going into August, I kind of thought that was going to be the stretch that the Yankees made their decisive move, and they didn't. It ended up being in September with a much harder schedule than August. That's when they kind of set themselves apart. So not surprised they won, but I will say I am a little bit surprised in the way that they did it.
Understandable. Kev?
I'm not surprised because I went in assumption that Cole was gonna be back around the time that he was back, and that he was gonna be like, if it was just resting, and we did a lot of research, we had Jeff J on, and a lot of guys said it's more of a resting type injury. I was like, I knew he was gonna take a couple of starts, but then, especially watching Blake Snell this season, I was like, I had no doubt that we were gonna get the Cole that we all been waiting for, and we seen it the last few starts as well. So, I mean, my prediction was based on if Cole is Cole, just like Christian was saying about it. So I was not surprised. I knew this team could hit. I knew the two top guys were gonna do what they did. Honestly, I didn't expect Soto to go have his most amazing year that he's had. I mean, I think it's 180 WRC plus, 41 home runs. He killed everything. I thought he was gonna be just above like 36, 37. But yeah, man, I wasn't surprised. The only thing that really surprised me was, honestly, when Wells went on that run. I didn't expect Wellesley to do that, and it sucks that he ended up getting a little cold at the end. But yeah, I wasn't surprised at all.
Christian?
No, I gotta admit, I'm surprised they won the division. Not surprised they're in the postseason. I figured they'd get one of these wild cards here. I didn't know what to expect with Garrett Cole missing 2.5 months of the season. Luis Hill really stepped up in that time frame and really helped cover that absence, which that was really unexpected. Nobody knew that he was going to be that good in place of Garrett Cole there. This season was just one of the weirdest seasons I can remember because, bro, we're sitting there doing shows and actually contemplating. That's how bad the Yankees were at one point. If they were going to actually make the postseason, when they went into Boston that last week of July, I think it was, that if they had a bad weekend in Boston, they were going to be on the outside looking into the postseason. And that's really where they turned their season around there. They won the series in Boston. I was on vacation that week, so I don't remember fully, but I believe they swept Philly. They won. I know they won.
Yeah, they swept Philly.
Yeah, they swept
They
Philly.
swept Philly. So that was really where the Yankees kind of turned things around. They played 500 ball through that soft August schedule, which frustrated you. But what you really got to like here is that finally at some point, they woke up and they realized that, hey, listen, we got to take this division. And they went
Facts.
5-1 out in the West Coast here against Seattle and Oakland, and that put the division away. So, how many times have we argued or had these debates about Aaron Boone teams never put their foot on somebody's necks? Well, maybe it took longer than we had wanted, but they went for the kill when they were out there and they put Baltimore to sleep in that West Coast. So the West Coast trip. So, they did what they needed to do, and I'm happy that they did. So let's get to the postseason here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You're right at the end of what you said there. It's something that we've all been harping on for a while, is showing the killer instinct, and they did that West Coast trip. The Yankees, they were right there with each other for a very, very long time. The Yankees finally broke away and locked in the division, because I know there's a lot of people out there that just get in. That's been that kind of, as realistic as that is, and I think we can all agree that that's fine to say. You just get in and you play your ball and you get to where you got to get. But at the end of the day, for me, I want the division. I want to win the division, and then I want to have that little time off there to kind of look at your team you're going to play, kind of scout them a little bit more, have a good plan ahead of time, and execute on that. A lot of people during the Pirates series were getting very concerned. Oh, man, the offense again, and the chat was bugging out. This is it.
They weren't trying.
We had some level-headed people in here, including myself, who was saying, guys, let's let the ALDS play out. Let's have game 1 first before we're sitting here shitting bricks. When this team just won 94 games, they get in. Let's breathe a little bit and take a step back here. My question to you guys before we get into the roster decisions that still have to be made for the Yankees is, are you concerned at all with the layoff? Is that something that, look, I know it's happened before, that is a real thing, but is there legitimate concern for you guys when it comes to the layoff that the Yankees are going to have before they have ALDS game 1 on October 5th? Kev?
When it comes to the Yankees, I don't. There's also a benefit by having the week off where you won't see their number one.
Yeah.
And they'll be short. They'll be traveling, their bullpen, depending if they go 3 games. You don't know how that looks. So there's a benefit to it that even though it takes some time, you having Garrett Cole, and Garrett Cole goes out there and keeps you close. All we need to put is a couple of runs on the board, hopefully, and we'll get that W. And that's the point of having that that time off. Yes, simulated games and live BP isn't the same as a game, but I think people look too much in what happened last year and forgot that the Dodgers didn't have any starting pitching. Atlanta didn't either. They lost. They were shortchanged on their pitching as well. So people forget that you can't win any series if you don't have any starting pitching. I don't care how good you are. So I think it's fine. And the Yankees, I think honestly they kind of do need it. They're a little banged up. We don't know if we could get Cousins back. We're gonna get Nestor. Maybe Nestor's a long shot, but maybe we can still get Cousins. So I think there's a benefit factor for the New York Yankees for sure. And I'm not worried.
Agreed. Christian?
Offensively, I think this little break would probably be good for them. I think you got to give, Soto's been banged up on and off all year. He played 157 games, but that's a miracle considering the hand injury, whatever the hell. He missed that entire Dodger series, the knee. So he could use a couple of days here. Judges probably, could use a few days here, even though I think he sat 2 of the 3 games against Pittsburgh. So to get him off his feet out of center field for 5 days can't be the worst thing in the world. It gives you time to make a decision about Rizzo. So I'm not worried in that sense. My only little bit of concern is I want Garrett Cole back on the mound ASAP, man, because he's hitting his stride. Yeah. He's hitting his ace stride right now. Yeah. And you don't know what those extra couple of days, for especially a guy like him, creature of habit, so in tune with himself, that you don't know if those extra couple of days might get him out of sync, because nobody's a bigger fan of his than me, and nobody's more critical of him than me. And after what happened with Devers, but I was so down on him. But then he goes out there 9 scoreless against Oakland, and then the game the Yankees needed to win. They needed to win 1 game on that homestand, and he delivered. That was an ace. That was an ace-like performance in a basically a postseason game,
No
and he
doubt.
delivered. And that's my only little bit of concern, is that now he's got, maybe he might have a little bit too much rest, but you get to reset the bullpen here, and just kind of figure out what you're going to do with Schmidt and Heel behind Rodon and Cole. But
Yep.
like Kev, you were saying with the starting pitching of those two teams, that's one of the things that I think the Yankees have an advantage of going into this postseason, is that I think their starting pitching is a lot stronger than it's been, and it might be
Agreed.
compared to the rest of the American League.
No doubt. Francis.
I gotta say, earlier in the year, I had some trepidation when considering, if they're going to be a wild card team or if they're going to win the division. Just wondering, all right, like, is it better for this team, who we've seen play Houdini for like a week offensively, to just continue playing and kind of be in their zone?
Yep.
Or is it better for them to, take the layoff, because it'll be the end of the year anyway, and for sure guys will need rest. Regardless of whether we like it or not, they're getting the rest. But I think I'm going to agree with Kev and Christian that I think the rest is probably good for this particular iteration of the Yankees. In years past, I would have probably been on the other side of this, because for whatever reason, in years past, they just didn't seem to wake up when they needed to wake up. This is the first Yankees team in a long time that I feel like I can confidently say I saw wake up at different points throughout the season. Like, actually wake up from like a slumber of not hitting, not playing well, not performing, and they would just show up. Like, a lot of people have said it on Twitter too. This is a team that seems to play to their competition, for better or for worse.
Yep.
Throughout the regular season, that's going to make you want to rip your hair out a lot of times. It's going to make you want to, jump off the G-dubs every time you see them playing like these lesser teams and getting smoked or shut out. But in the playoffs, that actually bodes well, because in the playoffs, the competition is up every series. So if this is indeed a team that's going to play to their competition, 1 week off, 3 days off, 4 days off, really shouldn't matter, because the moment that the competition on the other side of the lines is representative, they should be able to rise to the occasion, and I think they will.
Facts. Before we go ahead and move on to roster stuff, we got 300 in here, guys. Hit that like button, smack that like, hit that sub like you've never done it before in your life. We got a super chat from our brother, Senor Ra Thompson.
Ra.
He says, my only hope is that this layoff will help them mentally reset so they can minimize the mental base running errors. We can't win if we make mental errors. That's a good point, Ron. That's some stuff that we'll get into and talk about. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and get right into topic number one. And this is a big one. The roster decisions that need to be made. During the Pirates series, unfortunately, Anthony Rizzo suffers, I believe it was 2 broken fingers on his hand. On the hand where the mitt is going to be in, his left hand. Which is really, really gonna hurt the Yankees, in my opinion. I want to start there at first base. We don't know yet. Aaron Boone is calling it a long shot for him to make the ALDS, maybe more ALCS potential. But the thing about Anthony Rizzo is he's not a guy anymore that you're looking at, right, and going, well, he's a middle of the order bat. That's what we expect. We expect a pop from the left side. He doesn't need to be that. My thing with Anthony Rizzo was, how do the Yankees make up for that defense? We just saw about over the last week or so, he probably saved a good, maybe more than the week, maybe about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I know by calling these games, I could count multiple times that I remember that Jazz has had a couple of tough times throwing balls in the dirt that he scoops with ease. Anthony Volpe on a couple of double plays. We know Gleyber Torres sometimes spikes the baseball on double plays. You can see the scenario where this could really affect the Yankees more than other clubs, because Anthony Rizzo is a solid defender. Now, I don't think DJ LeMahieu will be an option, thank God. I don't want to say his name too much because you never know what happens.
Don't Beetlejuice it.
No, I don't want to Beetlejuice DJ LeMahieu. Oh, I said, let me stop. I'm going to say, I know I'm gonna fucking say it again because he said that. But you got Ben Rice up, and then you got Oswaldo Cabrera. What do you think the decision is that's going to be made there in the ALDS? If you had to ask me, I'd say I don't think Anthony Rizzo is going to be on the ALDS. I don't think that's the case. I think you're going to probably see, I'm going to go ahead and say I think Ben Rice is going to end up making this roster and playing first base, or it's just going to be Oswaldo. I'm kind of up in the air on that. They did say that Trent Grisham's been getting work at first base. Gold Glove center fielder great athlete. He makes amazing plays with ease, but that's kind of the New York Yankees way. And that's not them saying they're going to do it, but that did come out of the mouth of Aaron Boone. Christian, I'll start with you. What do you think?
I've been on this Anthony Rizzo thing for a couple weeks now, where I've said how important he's going to be to this run here, because this is not a good defensive team, and every single out is at a premium in the postseason. And Ben Rice is probably going to be the guy, I would say. And what's the word that comes to mind when I think about Ben Rice at first base? Adequate. That's not confidence inducing when you have a guy playing out of position in Jazz Chisholm and Anthony Volpe, who I do think is a really good shortstop, but has trouble getting the ball to first base. And Gleyber Torres is he's an adventure out there. I mean, he can make great plays, and then he can just, I don't know, it's like sometimes his brain just falls out of his head when when he's playing out there. So this is a huge loss for the Yankees. I don't get the conversation that was going on in social media the other day when he got hurt, that, oh, this isn't a big deal, he's hitting 230. That's not what Anthony Rizzo is anymore. He's not here to be a middle of the order bat, like you said. He's there to be a good defensive first baseman. And like you said, Pete, you watch every game, you're calling every game. He saves a lot of errors. And it's going to be a problem when Ben Rice is not making the plays that Anthony Rizzo makes. His team is not good defensively, like I said, and now they have to bring it to another level to make up for the fact that Rizzo probably won't be there. I don't know. I think that they will go with Ben Rice, because I just think they want Oswaldo Cabrera late in games for versatility reasons, and can come in and pinch run for a guy if they need that. So I would probably say it's going to be Rice. And like we talked about last night on NYYST, it's not a fatal loss, but it could turn out to be one.
All right. Kev.
So, I mean,
You're the Ben Rice guy. Sell us on Ben Rice.
Well, no, what I want to clear up is that some people think that Ben Rice is awful or bad defensively, which it's not. He's played over 349 innings now in first base, and he has a 0 DRS and a 1 out above average. So that's nowhere near bad. That's average. Is it worse than Rizzo? Of course it is. Where the difference where me and you people were talking about yesterday is that Rizzo's played 14, 15 years at first base. The plays come second nature, like that runners on the corners, ball right to Rizzo. He went to third on a chopper, and he got that stuff that Ben Rice doesn't have. You know, the scoops is what worries me the most with Ben Rice, but him being a catcher, you know what I'm saying? I don't like over Cabrera. I don't know. I would have to look at Cabrera's first base numbers. I'm going to do that in a minute to see how he ranks there. But I think the Yankees are just going to play Ben Rice against righties and Waldo against lefties. I mean, that's what I see them doing, even though I love Waldo hitting from the left side. But I think that's what the Yankees are going to do. He's always going to come in the 7th or 8th for Ben Rice anyway. Because I believe the Yankees also believe that he is a better first baseman. Where nobody, and I think all of us agree, is that the boogeyman should be nowhere near this Yankee roster.
I'm not saying his name again.
Me neither. Yeah, we listen. I'll the chat knows who I'm talking about right now.
You don't add enough value to our roster to present like that.
That guy should be nowhere near the postseason roster. I don't care how many fan accounts and how many people love him. This is not the time for your favorite player. This is the time to win. And you have to understand, as a fan, sometimes my favorite player isn't the best option, right? So I don't want to see that guy anywhere near, because he was bad defensively and was horrible with his bat. So we need athletic guys. That's something that Ben Rice could do. Ben Rice didn't look bad yesterday. He turned a nice double play. He almost made a great catch, but the runner was in front of him. We saw that yesterday as well. It was a shitty condition, you know, so it could have been a lot worse. So I'm confident. Listen, is it a huge loss? No. Is it a gut punch? It is, because Rizzo brings the veteran side to the aspect, and he's so good when it comes to he knows where to be with the ball at first, and he's been there for 14, 15 years. You can't replicate that with any guy that's on the Yankees right now.
Yeah, they usually win with good first baseman also. So, Francis.
I guess I'm a little bit different in the sense that, look, I like Ben Rice a lot. I'm all for, playing the kids, obviously. And I was one of the big proponents for calling him up when, Rizzo went down and we had, a situation there. Calling him up a day or two before the season ends and then planning to start him at first base game 1 of the ALDS, I think you're setting him up for failure. It just to me it is what it is. It's not so much about him whether he's a bad defender or not. I don't think he's a bad defender, but it's the playoffs, and the playoffs have turned Gold Glove, Platinum Glove defenders into Gleyber Torres at second base. Like
Yep.
the playoffs do things to players, and players react differently. You never know how we don't know how Volpe's going to react. This is Volpe's first playoffs, and he's our shortstop going into it. This is going to be Jazz's first playoffs at third base. Like we got a lot of like shit that's
First times and
a lot of first times and a lot of whatever. And it's like to add first time first baseman to that, to me, is just giving me a little bit of, I don't know. It's just like, damn,
Jitters.
that now again, even if they went Waldo, it's still his first time playing first base, I think,
in the postseason
because
too.
when
Yeah,
he played with us in the postseason before, he wasn't playing first base.
right.
Here's why I take a long look at Waldo over Rice, only because he's been in the playoffs before and it's not his first ever experience. Now, in the ALDS, the Yankees might not see it the way I'm seeing it. The Yankees might see it like this. This is a team that's, at least in public, they're supremely confident about their ability to play and what they're going to do in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
If that confidence is true, then they may very well just say, nah, we're putting Ben Rice at first base because at the end of the day, yeah, maybe something happens over the course of this series, 1 bad play, maybe 2 bad plays, but we should be scoring more than enough runs and our pitching should be more than solid enough for us to get to the next round. And hopefully by then we have Rizzo back. Yeah. I'm thinking that that's probably what they're thinking, and they're thinking they could survive whoever they put at first base. And if the metrics favor Ben Rice, then I think it'll be Ben Rice, because I tried looking for one of those numbers at first base. I can't find them. But regardless, I think it's going to be – you found him?
Yeah, he's played at first base. First base, he's played 57 and a third. He has 0 outs above average and 0 DRS, so he's right average.
He's
Played
average.
that many innings
That's
at
this
first
season?
base? Wow.
Yeah,
Was that this
57
year?
innings.
That's
Yeah,
not
just
this
this
year?
year. Yeah.
Oh wow.
2024,
Oh, wow.
57 innings. He did
didn't
13 innings in 2022.
He played a lot of first base this year because
Yeah, DJ went down.
DJ
So
went
he
down,
wasn't-
and so he ended up playing a lot of first base. And the funny thing was that if you remember, we were asked, fans were asking towards the end of the year, well, why aren't we seeing Waldo in certain situations? And Boone kept referring to him he's our backup first baseman. He kept saying that when Ben Rice was down.
Correct.
But then the
I remember
moment
that.
Rizzo went down, they called up Ben Rice, and then whatever. So again, it's tough to take the Yankees by anything they say, because like he said, oh, he's our backup first baseman, but Ben Rice could start game 1 and it wouldn't shock me. But I think if you're looking at the metrics and you're going to make that decision, I don't know. It's a tough decision. I guess you have to look at how many innings Ben Rice had when he was up with us. I'm sure it's more than 57.
Yeah, we'd have to take a look at that.
Ben
So
Rice
I-
was
I think
349.
349 innings, right?
Yes, and he had a 1 out above average and 0 DRS, which is
Well,
average.
shit. How many runs did he? How many months did he play? He played what? A month and a half?
No,
Maybe
he played a
more than that?
lot. He played a lot.
It was longer
He
than
did
that, wasn't
play
it?
a
He
lot.
played a long damn time at first for us.
I'd love
Remember-
to see. I'd love to see how many innings he got post Jazz.
You're stretching
Because
it there. I'm not
From
that
what
good.
I remember, from what I, no,
He's
I'm
putting
asking
me to
for
the
a lot.
test,
Let me
though,
see.
mate.
Let me see.
No, I'm asking for a lot here. But here's my thing, right? Post Jazz, the left side of the infield, that's when the drastic change happened.
Correct.
Yeah.
And this is what we're all, I think if we're all being honest here, I think
That's
what
the
we're all
concern.
worried about is Volpe, Jazz. Can you catch the throw from those two? Because we know those throws are not going to be perfect.
Well, you know what we got to remember too. Here's the big factor.
Mhm.
When they got Rizzo over there, they know that. They know they can skid a ball.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that
So they released
allows
it.
them. Correct. That allows them to go quick backhand, just fucking let it go. If
Exactly.
we bounce it, we know we're gonna be okay. The problem is now when somebody like that is over there, what are you thinking up here when you make the play?
And if you're playing a fast ass team like Kansas City or
Or
Baltimore,
Baltimore.
that's when shit starts to add up and it gets late early.
That's a concern. And as Kev looks that up, let's go ahead and get to another big position here that the Yankees are looking at, left field. You got Alex Verdugo, You got top prospect Jason Dominguez. What are the Yankees gonna do in this regard? I'll be happy to start here. I'm not backing off from where I've been. I think the best way to do this is you gotta go for the bat. Now, I want to clarify something here. If the Yankees were to come out and go, you know what, we've seen enough. It's the postseason. We're gonna choose to believe in Alex Verdugo. I'm not gonna be upset. I'll tell you why. I think Alex Verdugo could step up. I think he has that mindset. I think he has that mentality. I know a lot of people could sit there and go, you know, he hasn't performed or whatever it may be. He got the Grimace gloves now. He's smacking the ball with the Grimace gloves. I don't know if you guys saw the Grimace gloves.
Yeah, I saw him.
But he got the Grimace gloves, all right? And, you know, it added a little pop to him over there. But I wouldn't be overly upset. Now, personally, if I had to choose, I think the upside of Jason Dominguez is too high. A ton of speed. Yes, I get it. There could be a little scary stuff with the outfield, some plays we've made. Thank God Carlos isn't in here because he'd flip shit right now if somebody says that. But we've seen what we've seen, and we got to go with what we've seen so far. The dynamic of him to me is too valuable. Getting at least 3 at-bats from this kid to me is going to be important. And I feel like if I had to make a decision, I'm going Dominguez. Verdugo makes the team, comes in late. Maybe based off matchup 2, I'd make a different decision. And we're going to find out who we're playing in a couple of days. But for me, that's the route I'd go. Let's go to Francis first on this one.
Yeah, this is tough because up until the last game of the season, I was pretty much decided on how I wanted it. I thought that Dominguez should get the look. And then you bring in Doogie, late inning defensive replacement, at least making sure that Dominguez gets 3 at bats. And then in the late innings, I would say like right after the 3rd at bat, hopefully that's in the 6th inning, 7th inning, the latest, you can make that defensive replacement and then go from there. That's where I was until the last game of the season. And then I saw Trent Grisham play again, right? And immediately I became confused, and I get why they didn't do it, because that thought came and went really quick. The Yankees already had a mess at left field with Verdugo and Jason. If they would have thrown Grisham in the mix, it would have just thrown everything off. Here's the thing, though. If the argument for Verdugo is defense, then how did you not look at Grisham there? He's the best defender of all 3 of them.
Of everybody.
Of everybody. On the team, he's the best outfield glove on the team. When I saw Grisham playing the last day, I was like, wait a minute, we've been sitting here for weeks arguing about Verdugo and Dominguez and Doogie's glove and Dominguez bad, and then I see Grisham and I'm like, and immediately, like it only took a couple innings for somebody to hit the ball, him to make a play, and me to say, wait a fucking minute, he's him in the outfield, like he's that guy with a glove on his in the outfield. Why? Like it just starts to make me, question and really think, okay, what are the actual motives with Verdugo? Like, what is it there? Because defense, if it really was defense all along, if you were trying to find the right guy for left field defensively all along, why not put Grisham there? Judge isn't moving off of center field, right? And that's an argument. Right. That's a conversation for another day, because I have a take about that is probably going to be very unpopular. But Judge is not moving from center field. Soto is best suited in right field. You don't touch him there. Left field was the only option we ever had. I'm just like, I don't know how Grisham was never a thought there to be the defensive replacement and then Dominguez to be that bad. And then even if you talk about offensively, he's better than Verdugo. To me.
Who's better?
Grisham.
Okay.
Offensively. Because here's my thing with Grisham. He never got the rope that Doogie got offensively playing time wise.
Right.
But somehow when he did start getting consistent playing time, what did he do? He started hitting.
And then in 240, what was he at 240 over a long period of time? He was doing well.
Yeah, and then he lost the playing time because it is what it is. He wasn't brought here to be that. He was brought here to be a 4th outfielder at best. Right. I get it. But I say all that to say I wish Grisham would have got more of a look, because I don't see how you put him on the roster over when the argument has been these 2 guys for the last couple of weeks. So I would say they go with Dominguez and Verdugo, and I think Verdugo's actually going to get some starts. I don't think he's just going to be a defensive replacement. And the reason I say that is because in certain games, I could see them saying we'd be okay, with a little less offense and a little more defense. Do I agree with that? I don't know, but it's tough to argue if game one rolls around and you have Cole on the mound and they don't have their ace on the mound. It's tough to argue then saying, well, couldn't we just put Verdugo out there so that he makes every play on the left? Because we know Cole's going to pitch well, and we got Judge, we got Soto, the other guys step up, we should be fine. Like, I could see them saying that's the way that we go. So I could see him getting starts.
And one more thing to add to that, too, you got to remember about Dominguez, right? If he doesn't start, that's great speed off the bench in a big moment.
In a game like a cold
in a close game, let's say it's we're going to get to this stuff, but let's say it's like you said, it's a tight game late, and Stanton or somebody draws a walk or gets a hit. That's the guy you would go to if he wasn't starting. I mean, you would definitely, him or John Berti is the guys you would go to, and that could help the team out a lot. Christian, I'll go to you.
This is a tough one because we're sitting here talking about how big of a loss Rizzo is because of the defense, and then you're sitting here saying, I would rather play the offensive player in left field.
Yeah.
But the dynamic, and again, this is where Dominguez really shot himself in the foot, is he never separated himself offensively while he came up here. If he had done that, this is a no-brainer right now. You play him, and you go with the caddy, whoever it is, Verdugo, in the seventh inning or later, but he hasn't set himself apart offensively. But if you're looking for the most dynamic offensive lineup, it's obviously Jason Dominguez because he's a switch hitter. He's got the speed. He's got the athleticism. He's got more pop in his bat than Verdugo. I mean, how scared are you? How scared are the Yankees of him in left field? That becomes the question there. I don't know, man. But like Francis was saying, game one, on mound, you're not you might be facing their fourth starter if they go 3 games in a wild card series. You put Verdugo out there to make sure he catches everything. Yeah, I could definitely see that
on the
happen.
mound. I mean,
with
Garrett on the mound. Why not?
Because one bad play could throw Cole off.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love Garrett Cole, man, he's a ticking time bomb out there. Especially when things don't go according to plan. But I don't know. I'm just looking at this lineup and saying to myself, if the top 6 guys hit the way they're supposed to,
Doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So a game one, I would be shocked if it's honestly, I really would be shocked at this point if it's not Alex Verdugo. My biggest question now is, do the Yankees is the real question to the Yankees, Grisham or Dominguez on the roster? That's the big question to me.
That's a good point.
That's
really a point nobody really brought up. Do the Yankees just simply say, you know what? We gone with these guys all year. We know what Grisham is going to do, right? That's the big difference here. That's the factor probably, the knowing. Grisham's going to give you great defense. I don't think anybody would be shocked by Grisham playing a great defense. Dominguez, on the other hand, before Kev jumps in, I want to just show something here. I want to go a little analytical here when it comes to Jason Dominguez. For a guy who is batting 179, 313 on base percentage, and again, if you watched every game, the guy has smacked the baseball. I mean, he has hit the ball. The hard hit percentage is all the way up. The barrel percentage is all the way up. His bat speed is all the way up. Walk rate is all the way up. Now, I get it. I understand where everybody's coming from on this. I do.
Welcome to the jungle.
How you doing? Welcome to the U. But as Christian is saying, and he's right, do you need to rely on Jason Dominguez? Or is it more of a luxury? If he hits, yeah, it's great. But if Soto and Judge are doing Soto and Judge things, Stanton is playoff Stanton, does it really matter? Do you go with Grisham and Verdugo? Kev, what do you think?
Just before I start, Ben Rice played 123 innings after Jazz got here.
Look at this guy, he's unbelievable.
And only made one error, Francis, to let you know.
Okay.
So when it comes to Jason and and Verdugo. Like, to me, it also is going to depend. Are the Yankees going to go 14-12 in the ALDS, since they're going to have Stroman and maybe it's going to be a 3-man rotation. Am I correct?
That's the way they've been
Agreed.
talking. I
So
heard.
yeah, so if we do that, I think Dominguez makes that cut. If they're going 13-13, that's where we really have to have the conversation, because we can go down. I have it split up there 14-12, so we can run it back later. But when it comes to Verdugo, and we got to add Trent in there and Dominguez. It's not only, I love how people are just talking about Dominguez and Verdugo. Trent has made a big enough statement where he should be playing, just because he's also way better than Verdugo defensively, and his pop, bro. Let's not sit here and forget this guy can take one out, and he's a guy who either swings and barrels the ball, or he's a guy who walks or strikes out. Those are the 3 outcomes that you get with Trent Grisham. And yes, sometimes it's frustrating, but how many home runs has Doogie hit in the last 3 months? 2? I mean, it's like 2. One of them was the other day, the garbage one. And let's, you know what I'm saying? So, and funny enough, he's hit 2 as soon as Dominguez got called up.
Correct.
So my issue when it comes to the playoffs, yes, if the top of the order is doing their job, then we don't got to worry about that. Let's go on defense. But what if they're not? Who do you want grinding out at bats on elite pitching? You think Verdugo's going to give you a 7, 8, 9, 10 at bat?
Jason.
Go look at Jason Dominguez's at bat. They're all grind out at bats. He walks, and also he's 5 for 5 stealing bases. 5 for 6. I think got called out at third base the other day. That is so important. That game in Oakland, where the Yankees won 2-1 and Rizzo RBI, both of them. Jason had both of those runs. One of those was a Jason walk. Jason stole the base. A bloop single from Rizzo. He scored from second. That could be a difference maker in October.
Dynamic.
So I'm sorry. I don't know how you leave him off the roster. I get the ALCS because of the pitching, but in the LDS, when you can go 14-12 and you're going 3 starters and you got Stroman or either Clark or Hill piggybacking somebody, I don't know how you leave Jason off this. And I think you still have to, at this point, you play them, and you never know. Like, Jason could go 3 for 3 in a game, and that's it. He goes on a run, and that's what you need. Same thing with Ben Rice. You know what I'm saying? So you have those guys in the lineup. It's a dynamic up and down. You're going to get Ben Rice maybe walking, the Dominguez single. Now you got 2 guys on for Gleyber Torres, who's red hot, Soto and Judge. And now you got to pitch the Judge. You got to pitch to Soto. You know what I'm saying?
That's the big thing, man. I've been talking about that for so long now, that bottom of the order, getting on base for the top of the order. That's the way you protect Soto and Judge and get teams to pitch to them. Moving on, not from here yet. We're not going to jump into the divisions. Again, guys, we're covering every division, league championship, World Series. I'm going to give you all of our predictions. But I want to get back to that rotation because I want everybody to give me their 1, 2, 3 for the ALDS, because I think we have a good understanding of what it is, and what the common theme is that Louis Hill is going to be the 3. 2 is, of course, going to be Carlos Rodon, and number 1 will be the ace, Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, man. It worries me if you get to a game 3 and it's 1-1. Because Louis Hill's like a box of chocolates. You're not going to know. You don't know what you're going to get. Carlos Rodon is too. Carlos Rodon is too. Don't get me wrong. I love Carlos Rodon.
A smaller box of chocolates.
A little bit of a smaller box, okay? He's the girl you don't like it too much, and you just go ahead and say, hey, let me give you the small box of chocolate. It was on sale at Rite Aid, okay? I'm being nice.
Oh, the Rite Aid chocolates, okay.
Rite Aid chocolate, okay? He's that type of chocolate right now, but my concern is the dude is amped up. It's game 3, first ever start in the postseason. He's on the road. He's ready to rock. And he can't find a fucking strike zone. And he's all over the place. But, I'm picking him to be the 3rd starter. Because I'm sorry in that regard, because he could also be the opposite. The Yankees could be 1-1, 2-0. It doesn't matter. Louis Hill can step on that mound and shut down anybody with ease. He can have that scary first inning, and then all of a sudden you look up, he goes to 5th inning, Yankees are up 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. He has that type of stuff. And for me, I'm going that route. I know it's probably unfair to both of them. Those last couple of games were rainy. Clark was on the mound yesterday, didn't look overly sharp. It was an ugly ass day out. I understand that. Same thing with Louis Hill. Looked good, gave up some home runs. I got to go Louis Hill based off the overall season that he's had. And I know a lot of the conversation all year with him has been innings. Is he getting tired? Is the 150 too much? Is he going to break down in October? Is that a concern? Well, guess what? It's probably the best we have. So for me, that's the way I'm going. I'm taking him over Clark. I got 1, 2, 3 right there. Let's go to Kev next.
Every time I got a chance to go against Clark Smith, I'm just playing.
Nestor, by the way, Nestor would have been my 3. Nestor would have been my 3.
Yeah,
I think he's hands
that's
down. He would have been everybody.
that's
right?
kind of
Christian.
yeah.
Not Christian.
Nah, maybe Christian, maybe not Christians, but no, like listen, I'm truly, and Christian, listen, bro, I'm truly torn because I really like what I'm seeing from Clark, especially versus lefties. His cutter's being really effective. I'm not gonna take into account these last 2 games. The fucking climate was shitty, and both those guys looked like they were a little uncomfortable being up there. But there's 2 things that worries me when it comes to Luis Hill is the temperature. I don't think he's ever pitched. We don't know how cold it's gonna be for him. You know what I'm saying? That if we end up playing the LC, I mean the LDS in Kansas City, it's gonna be cold up there. And he's never pitched coming from the bullpen. That is a different dynamic of getting ready, a different mindset, a different it's way different. Also, I don't think he'll know like, oh, we're going to you today. Honestly, maybe not. I don't know if his mind is ready for that. You know, Clark has done that before. There is that, unfortunately. I saw Jansen Pujols had a great interview with Luis Hill, and they asked him about it. And he said, I've always been a starter. My mindset is to get ready at a starter. I'll do whatever the team needs, but I've always been a starter. I've never been a relief pitcher, so I don't know how my routine would be as a relief pitcher. That's kind of worrisome. Relief pitchers are a different mindset. It's a different animal. Clark has been in both, so I think I have to. And then him playing in an away park, you know what I'm saying? What that solo, the home run is the thing that worries you with power pitchers. I think it depends who the Yankees are facing. So I think I'm gonna lean towards Hill just because of I don't know if he will be comfortable coming out of the bullpen role as Clark has done it before, and I have no doubt that Clark could come in lights out and from the bullpen and pitch 3 2/3 of 0 ball. So I don't know if I can get that with Louis. So I got to lean the other way.
All right, Francis. It's not for sale, Francis.
Oh man, throwbacks. I'm with you guys. Cole number 1, Rodon 2, and then go Louis Hill 3. Having Clark to piggyback off of Hill, in case things get ugly early is nice. Ideally, this wouldn't even be a conversation. Ideally, we would have just had Nestor, and we would have known it's gonna go, Cole, Rodon, Nestor, and then these other guys will have one of them in the pen, and that's it. Maybe you saved Louis for ALCS, possibly being a 4 instead of a 3. But we got what we got, and here's the thing with Heel that's like we already kind of went over. It's the first inning. What I always see a lot of times is I feel like he's trying to guide the ball because he knows he doesn't know where the ball is going. Maybe hunting strikeouts, or I don't know what it is, but in that regard. But for whatever reason, in the first inning, when it does go awry, it just doesn't look right. It looks like he's doing something. He's thinking while he's pitching. And I know people probably hear that and say, well, of course, your brain never stops. But if you've pitched before, you know exactly what I'm saying. If you're thinking while you're like going into you're screwed. You're screwed. If you're thinking while you're starting your motion and you're coming to the plate, it's something's already wrong. Or whatever. You're supposed to, I mean, the best guys, your Garrett Coles of the world, your Kershaw, who's been doing it forever, Pedro, who's one of the greatest of all time. They will tell you, like, it's not me thinking. I'm not thinking through what I'm doing out there. Especially not in the first inning. But if you treat the first inning like it's a different part, like it's a different mode of the game, I think that's where you get into trouble. And I feel like Louis Hill, because he's had trouble in these first innings, it's become a thing where when he's out there, he's like, I need to get out this inning. I need to have a clean inning. I can't put a runner on. I can't walk somebody. I can't give up a hit. And then once he does, you see the thinking continue, and then it starts to snowball because walk, then a hit, and then, like you said, power pitcher, home run. That's all it takes. A walk, He gives up a bloop single. The next guy, the 3-hitter, comes up and puts one in the seats. Next thing you know, it's 3-0 before we even get a chance. You know what I mean? That's not what you want. So if Heel is going to be the 3, then I hope Blake and the crew get together and really go over something for the first inning where he's not pitching to strike people out. He's not pitching to, necessarily, start pinpoint and dotting the fastball. Or come up with a game plan where, yes, we're going to use the fastball. We're going to lean on the fastball. But the goal of our first inning is going to be establishing the location of the fastball down. That's the only thing we need you to do in this first inning. Like, make it really simple for him, because he is still a rookie. As good as he is and as good as the stuff is, he is still a rookie. And I feel like sometimes he makes it too complicated.
Agreed. Christian?
Yeah, it's another big debate that we've been having. Who's 3, Heel or Schmidt? I mean, obviously, it wasn't going to be Nestor. It was never Nestor. Nestor's a bum. Okay, no, I'm kidding. No, that was a big loss for the Yankees, man, because
Huge.
It's crazy, right?
anytime that you take somebody out that you've been relying on, it's a big loss. And Nestor cried, "Oh, I don't want to go to the bullpen." And then, you know what? He came back and he showed that he doesn't belong in the bullpen. So, I mean, credit to him. He balled out after that. And
Christian became a big fan, by the way. Really big fan.
Look, man, if you're going to talk shit, you got to back it up. And he did. And that's why I got respect for Nestor in that regard. And I would have said that he probably would have been the 3. I don't know if the Yankees would have definitely did it. It's always hard to sit here and say, "Oh, he would have definitely been." But these are the Yankees. How many? we just never know with them what they're going to do. Like, why did we invent smarter Yankees? Because this is the shit that they do. This is the most obvious thing in the world. They do the opposite. So Nestor would have definitely been my pick to be number 3 had he been healthy. I'm a big Clark Schmidt guy. I just think the predictability factor of him is so important in the postseason. Like, is he going to be able to go out there and dominate a lineup like Heel can? No, he's probably going to give up two runs over 5 1/3. But going into that, he's going to give up 2 runs over 5 1/3, where Luis Heel might walk 5 guys in the first inning and he could be down 4-0, or he could go out there and throw 6 shutout innings. You just don't know. Like, I always go back to this, that game that they won in Seattle. I forget the guy's name.
Robles.
Robles. If he doesn't pull one of the biggest block-headed moves of all time, trying to steal home on a 3-0 count.
Not even Gleyber.
Luis Heel is ready. He's ready to give up that game in the first inning.
Yeah.
Now, he settled. Credit to him. He settled in after that point. Sometimes all it does is take somebody else's mistake to get. But you can't rely on that happening
every time
in the postseason, man. And as good as Heel's been this year, it's something that's always concerned me about him is he doesn't throw enough strikes. That's why when people before we made the genius move, and not genius sarcastically, but the genius move to put Luke Weaver in the closer role, everybody's like, "Oh, just move Heel there." You can't have a closer that doesn't throw strikes.
Yeah.
So to me, I would like to really see Schmidt in that spot, in the 3rd spot, just because I think I can predict better what he's going to do. Are the Yankees going to do that? I don't know. And everybody that you listen to, when they put up the projected rotation on the screen yesterday, Heel was in the 3rd slot. When Jack Curry tweets about it, he puts Heel in the 3rd spot. So I'm going to be surprised if it's not Heel, but I personally wouldn't put Heel there just because I just don't. I love him. I think he's got the ability to go out there and be, out of anybody on the staff, I think he's probably got the most electric dominating stuff on, and that includes Garrett Cole, of anybody on this staff. But it's going to be obvious in the first inning whether or not you're going to be wanting to pull your hair out, because it's 3-0, 3-1. And then finally, he's got to come down the middle with a fastball. And like Francis said, it could be 3-0 before you even take a turn at well, they'll be on the road at that point, but you could be down 3-0 quickly, and you can't have that happen in the postseason.
Yeah.
He's a wild horse. That's the thing. He's a wild horse. It is
no doubt.
And he throws 100 miles an hour, and he's a kid. Like that's my thing. I just always.
I think what Kev said too about the weather is also fairly important.
Well,
Yeah.
what happened this last start, and
It does play a factor, man.
This last start, you saw him in cool, damp conditions. Now you talk about October, where it's gonna get not just
Cooler.
October,
It's
as
cold,
we
bro.
go deeper into the postseason, and hopefully they do. It's only gonna get colder. He's a Dominican. It's not, you
First
Dominicans
time. That's
have
the thing.
spoken about it. Pedro has a really good clip about it on YouTube, where he talks about his first time like pitching deep into the postseason. And one of the things he mentioned was, how cold it was. He's like, yeah, you never know how cold it is until you get that deep in the postseason. It's like, damn, people play baseball in this weather. It's like, yeah, New York,
And that's another.
fucking play baseball in this weather.
And what's his heartbeat? We
Yeah,
don't know.
That moment, yeah.
Yeah, the amp and look, I believe he's going to be extremely amped up. I mean, and can he harness that? Is that going to be harnessed by him well enough, or is it going to explode?
Look what we saw
and be a
Luis
mess.
Severino do in the
You-
postseason.
You guys want his ERA in April?
Let's hear it.
4 in
Well,
April. That's 5 starts. He didn't get out of the 5th inning in that one.
Louis Hill?
Yeah. Well, I'm
That's
sorry.
right.
And and 2 games he got it to the 5th, but that's it. He didn't pitch. He didn't pitch after the 5th.
Which it's
So
tough for
so
Pedro.
it's cold in April.
Out.
You know what I'm
it's
saying? Like,
out.
yeah, correct. So
Pitch level.
I'm not saying that in the LDS, maybe the LCS, we have him and then he'll be able to. But beyond that, or maybe even the ALCS, we don't know where. It might be benefit that we play a team that's in a dome or something like that for him or something like that. You don't know that. So it's this is why you got to go series by series. But right now, it's either Kansas City or Baltimore. Those 2 spots are going to be cold, and him not coming. The thing is that you go to Clark and Clark doesn't have it. Then you want to piggyback Schmidt, and Schmidt. Luis Hill is just wild. Now you probably lost the game in the 3rd, 4th inning. You know what I'm saying?
Potentially,
So I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be interesting, honestly.
No doubt about it, guys. We got over about 340 in here. Hit that like button, 148 likes right now. Before we move forward to probably the part that you guys really want to hear, we're going to talk about the postseason and where we are. Definitely just want to say rest in peace to Pete Rose. Pete
man.
Rose passed away just a little before. I think it started to really pick up maybe a couple of hours ago. But the news broke around Major League Baseball that the all-time hit leader, Pete Rose, passed away. So I know some people have been saying in that chat, we actually wanted to start the show that way. It literally slipped my mind because I'm just ready to talk some Yankee baseball. But sad news right there out of Major League Baseball. Pete Rose passed away. Going ahead and moving on to the big part of this show, the division series. Now the Yankees are in. We know the Yankees are in. The big question now becomes, who do the New York Yankees play in the first round? So I'm going to pull this up here. We'll take a look at it and we'll discuss. Here you go. This is your postseason picture, ladies and gentlemen. This is all done. As you see on the National League side, congratulations to the New York Mets. Congratulations to the Atlanta Braves. Unfortunately, Arizona's out. But if anybody watched Game 1 today, that was a stupid game.
Insane. That's just a movie script.
Instant classic.
That's why I wanted baseball today.
And I got to shout out one person on the Mets, Frankie Lindor. What a way to step up in a monster moment for his team to hit a go-ahead home run in just an absolutely crazy game. But obviously, we are here to talk some New York Yankees baseball.
Can I just shout out Carlos Mendoza, please?
Yes, Mendy.
Hell yes. No doubt about it.
What an amazing job he did with the Mets this year. I mean, that's Boone's former bench coach. And I'm not knocking Aaron Boone, but he was right. He was right here all along, man. And he did that team was dead.
Yeah.
And they're in the postseason now. So you got to give Mendoza a lot of credit for that.
I'll say one thing about Carlos Mendoza from a story before any of this happened. We were in spring training. And John Brophy was giving us a bit of a heads up on schedules and, hey, guys, you might want to be here. You might want to be here. Come to find out, the Yankees were a mess in spring. They were all over the place. It felt very odd. Guys weren't where they were supposed to be. And Brophy's a guy who's around these people a lot. And he said he believed a lot of it had to do with Carlos Mendoza not being there because he really kept the team, in check when it came to that. So shout out to Carlos Mendoza. Good for him taking the Mets to the postseason. But here we are. The big one that we're going to be concerned with, and look, we can actually go through the whole division series if we want of every club. However you guys want to go about that, we
gotta
can
start
do
with
that.
the
But
wild card, no?
we got to start with the wild card first.
Okay.
And seeing who the New York Yankees are going to play. You got, you got Kansas City, and you got the team we're very familiar with, the Baltimore Orioles. This is going to be an interesting series. I'm going to go ahead and say I just feel like it's destined. I don't know how this doesn't happen. I think Kansas City could win, but I'm going Baltimore Orioles because I just feel it's destined. I think the AL East, 1-2, it's going to happen again. It's Yankees-Baltimore. I said this to start the year. This is going to be a rivalry that is not going to go away. These teams are here to stay for multiple years. They're going to be bashing heads with each other, and I think it is destined that we will see the Baltimore Orioles in the ALDS. Let's go to Christian first.
Yeah, it just seems inevitable, right?
It does.
I'm going. I would love to see the Orioles just get embarrassed in the wild card round because the top rated Maryland sports blog of all time, just to see them cry on social media. But no, I just think it's inevitable for the Yankees to have to slay all the dragons on their way to the World Series this year. So I think I don't think the Kansas City Royals should be underestimated, but I think the Orioles should advance in that series.
Francis?
Yeah. So I get where you're coming from, Pete. I get where Christian's coming from. The Orioles have played a brand of baseball the last month to 6 weeks that would petrify me if I was an Orioles fan. Because they play a better Houdini act than the Yankees do in terms of their offense disappearing. And this is with the guys in the lineup that they need to have in the lineup. They've done it time and time again against good pitching. Kansas City should be able to present them with at least two very good options in terms of starters in Lugo and Ragans, however I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name.
Yeah,
Singer's no joke either.
Right? Singer's also no joke, right? But I'm saying if you just go at the top, these are two guys who pitch very well, And the Orioles, the last 6 weeks, have struggled every time they get in front of somebody who's pitching very well. Now, what we saw versus the Orioles this last week probably woke up a lot of people and said, oh, well, the Orioles, they showed up against the Yankees, right? They took 2 out of 3, whatever, made sure they clinched their postseason berth. Okay, cool. But the Orioles are always going to wake up when we're across the lines from them because that's a rivalry for them. It's the Yankees. They want to beat us. They want to beat the shit out of us. It's going to be really interesting to me because last year you saw what happened to them. They came out flat. They ended up getting bounced. This year, they haven't been playing all that well to end the season. They won that series against us, but let's be honest, they were losing series left and right before they came into the Bronx and won that series against us. If they drop this to, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I feel like Kansas City just has enough pitching to kind of stifle them, and I feel like if they do get stifled for long enough in the game, they haven't shown me that they're going to fight back. If it was us on the other lines, then I'd say, yeah, we're in for a freaking dogfight because they'd never go quietly if the Yankees are on the other side. But it's Kansas City on the other side. And I don't know. I need to see them wake up to play Kansas City before I just outright say they're going to win because they're the better team. They've been a better team than a lot of the teams they faced the last month and a half, and they dropped a lot of those series. They also don't have the starting pitching that they thought they were going to have.
True.
I mean, we don't hit Dean Kramer, but I don't think Kansas City's going to have a problem with him. Who's their game 3 guy?
It's probably Eflin.
Yeah, you got to think it's Eflin. Yep.
Let's be honest. Eflin, he's cool. He's okay.
We have problems with him, but not other teams.
But do you think Kansas City's going to? I don't think Kansas City. I don't think Salvador Perez is going to have a problem with him. I don't think Bobby Witt Jr. is going to have a problem with him. I'm just saying it's.
I know Sal Perez ain't going to have a problem with us. I'll tell you that much.
He definitely don't have a problem with us.
Shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say Kansas City actually disposes of them. I think I could see it going 3 games, but yeah, I think Kansas City gets it done.
Okay, Yankees KC matchup potentially. Kev, who you got?
I'm gonna go with my initials too. I'm gonna go with the Orioles, and it's just because I don't know if I can to Francis's point. Their offense has been so on and off as much as ours. Maybe sometimes at times worse because they'll go on stretches where only Santander does something.
Yeah.
And Adley, Gunner, those guys. I don't know. I mean, they called up Jackson. Jackson's looked horrendous since they called him up. They're benching him at this point. And yeah, listen, like even that last series that we played against them, let's not act like the Yankees should have won that first game. Like it was just sloppy baseball.
Yeah.
So
Good point.
yeah, so it's like and the Yankees at that point, I still think they were playing a little bit reserved just because they just needed to win one game out of 6. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna judge that series on what could be, but I get what Pete is saying. Like my mind is telling me the Royals, but my heart is saying it is kind of destined for Baltimore and New York to see each other.
I'm not even looking at the matchups. I'm just going
Yeah.
on, honestly. I just feel like it's destined to happen.
I understand it, but I'm just gonna go with my head this time and think that maybe the Royals is just not gonna have as much issues with their starting pitching. And we know their bullpen is not good. So that's the one thing that I'm confident even if they play the Yankees, and we could get to that later, is that Baltimore's bullpen we hit pretty well.
We killed
So
Cano. I mean, Cano's like
Cano,
guy right now. He got no chance.
Cionel Perez, you name it. So, but yeah, I think the Royals, Bobby Witt. I mean, it's his first time up here, and they do have home field advantage, right?
Correct.
Baltimore does, yeah.
Baltimore does, yeah.
Oh, Baltimore does. Okay,
Yeah, the
so
higher seed.
All 3, yeah.
so that's still a good park for Bobby Witt to hit. So I
No
mean,
doubt.
those are
Big
really
outfield.
good. Those are really good, and that's the thing with the Yankees. That's the Yankee Stadium's not a great ballpark for him to hit. So it's like, so when it comes to Baltimore and Kansas City, like I really think Kansas City's going to pull away. It's also going to come up to, I think it's game 1 because you're going to have Seth Lugo against Corbin Burns, so it's going to be go to that. But I think the Royals edge them out.
All right, and according to the chat, 55% to 45% right now with Orioles in favor winning the wild card. Let's do this.
45 is close.
It's very, very close.
Wow.
Let's do this justice here. And I'll just run around the room really quickly to everybody else. Detroit or Houston? Major upset or Houston goes on to play Cleveland? I'm going to say I'm going Houston on this one. I think the experience is there. Could the Tigers win? I think it's very intriguing. I think it's a very, very intriguing matchup. Wouldn't shock me if the Tigers stay hot, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the regulars in Houston. I feel like that's the safe pick. That's the route I'll go. Christian, who do you got in that match?
I want to say Houston, but I think Tarek Skubal is such a dominating force that I know he's only going to pitch once in this series, but then that only leaves Detroit to have to split there. So I would love to see the Yankees have to slay all the Dragons on the way to the World Series, but I don't know. They're just young and hot right now with the best pitcher. Oh, with the best pitcher in baseball. So I'm going to pick an upset there.
All right, sounds good to me. Francis, who you got?
I'm rolling with Christian. I thought I was going to be the only one going with the Tigers here, but listen, Skubal is an absolute animal. All right, shouts out to him. He won the pitching side. He won the pitching. He's going to win the Cy Young. He won the pitching Triple Crown.
Yep.
He's a ridiculously nasty left-hander. I made a joke tweet the other day that wasn't really a joke. I think it's the truth, that if he pitches against the Yankees in the postseason, he's Randy Johnson, and I don't want that to happen. It's really just ridiculous. I mean, you see, I can't even get the fucking words out because the pitcher in me is just so enamored by what he can do on the mound, and I don't know.
Let me sum it up for you. He's really fucking good.
He's really
exactly
good.
That sums it up for you. He's really good.
I feel like all the words that you hear on MLB Network, everywhere, it's not enough to really truly explain how good of a pitcher this guy is for the age that he is, the control that he has, the poise that he has, but also the fire. Like, he has this very rare mix of fire and poise that only a select few have, and he freaking has it. And he is absolutely, positively box office. And I think it's sad that in the wild card round, you can only get him for one game, probably. But AJ Hinch manages the Tigers, and this is a winner. All right, listen, cheating scandal aside, whatever you want to say, Hinch is a
I agree.
freaking winner, dogs. He
I
found
agree.
a way to motivate this team that was mathematically told months ago, listen, your percentage chance at making the playoffs is so small. Plankton from SpongeBob is probably standing over it. Like, and
Bro,
he
that was
still-
August, by the way.
yeah,
August.
he still found a way to motivate these guys and say, nah, bro, until we are eliminated, we are going to go. And a manager like that with the pieces that he has, and yes, it's not the greatest in the world. They don't have Soto and Judge in the lineup, but they've had just enough to get to where they needed to get to. And yeah, Yordan Alvarez is still not officially gonna be on that route. They said he's gonna run the field tomorrow and hit, I think. Or maybe that was today. They were saying he was supposed to do that. I haven't seen an update. I don't know if he's for sure playing game 1 or game 2. I guess if it got to game 3, they'd probably run him out there just, because if their season's on the line, you have to. But Yordan Alvarez, I mean, bro, Altuve's nice, but at this point, I think Alvarez is the judge of that lineup.
The beast.
If
No doubt
he's
about
not
it.
in that lineup,
No doubt about it.
it's a very different team. So yeah, man, I don't know. Even if he is in there game 1, is he in there because he's fully healthy, or is he in there because it's a wild card and you got to play him? I don't know. But Detroit's really hot right now. I'm rolling with Detroit.
All right. Kev, who you got?
Listen, it's like kind of what we were talking about before. We're looking at Framber and Kikuchi from the Houston, and we're like, damn, 2 lefties. Even though I feel more comfortable with Framber with some of the guys that we have now in the Yankees lineup, but Kikuchi's always giving us issues.
Yep.
So I mean, but that doesn't mean that it does for Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So
Correct.
that's the flip side of it. And listen, man, it's not unexcusable, bro. They called up what's his name?
Jackson Job.
Like this
Or
team,
Jacob, something like that.
this
I think it's
team
Jackson.
This team can
Yeah,
fucking
I was-
pitch their ass off, bro.
Yeah,
The
he's
entire
nice.
Detroit. Yeah, so it's like they can pitch their ass off. Their offense is what worries me when it comes to going anywhere. Because they have to count on guys like Sweeney and Torkelson and stuff like that. So, but they can pitch their ass off, and I truly believe that. Man, when the guy's going up there just mowing guys down, we faced those Verlander, Scherzer, Detroit Tigers. It was so frustrating to watch as a Yankee fan. They would mow us down, ALDS in, ALDS out. So, listen, that's a team I don't want to face. I just don't. I mean, but when it comes to Houston and Detroit, I think Houston is more battle tested, and I think they'll edge them out.
That's exactly where I am on that one, is the experience. But postseason's postseason play. You never know. Let's do these ones really quickly when it comes to the National League, because I do want to get to everybody, because we got to give our ultimate finale of the World Series. Interesting matchup. The New York Mets versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers looking like an extremely good club. The Mets just getting in today. Oh, man, in many ways, I almost want to see the Mets advance. I know that might sound crazy, but a New York Philly matchup is always bananas. And you're talking about a great rivalry. So for baseball's sake, I'm going to go with a New York Met upset. I'm going to say the Mets move on, and they're going to go ahead and play the Philadelphia Phillies in the NLDS. Let's go to Christian first.
Yeah, I got it. I something about the Mets right now, man. After the way they won that game, I'll take an upset there too.
Kev.
I'm gonna pick the Queens baseball crew, man.
Wow.
It's just that game. What I saw, they're living high, and they just came off and like Milwaukee making their life a miserable shit because they just needed to win a couple games there and they couldn't. They listen. They're coming with. I think they're gonna be ready, and they're gonna come with a force to be reckoned with. And listen, honestly, I agree with you. I don't want to. That Philly New York matchup is gonna be dope as fuck. So I mean, I don't want to cheat everybody from that. I love
No doubt
baseball,
about
man.
it.
I watch everything.
Really quickly, I want to shout out Los in the chat. Yankees Farm, my brother. My brother. If you guys are not subscribed to Los, go ahead and hit that subby. Francis. I already know. You're gonna say the Brewers. I know it. Go ahead and say the Brewers.
He fucking knows me, this guy.
I know you too well. There's no way. Because look, let me say something. I'm gonna put Francis on the spot real quick. I could talk to Francis anytime. If the Mets beat the Yankees, or if something happens with the Mets, leave him. Don't fuck with him. Leave him alone. I know I can't hit him up for nothing because the mind ain't gonna be right. This
No.
dude hates the New York Mets, all right? So
It's-
I know he's going to go Brewers, so we could just move on.
So the thing with me, I don't hate the Mets. I don't hate what I do. I gotta be honest though. I don't hate the Mets. I got a lot of family that's Mets fan. My godfather, God rest his soul, was a huge Mets fan. I hate the Mets beating the Yankees in any way, shape, or form. I don't like the Mets beating the Yankees in spring training. I can't take it. That's like it's one of those things. I just don't. It's almost like with the Red Sox. I don't ever want to lose to the Red Sox. The reason I'm picking the
Fair.
Brewers though is this year they've played the Mets so tough. It's not even funny. Out of 6 games, they won 5. They've gone
That's
5
true.
and 1
Yeah.
against the Mets.
Yeah.
And they just don't make it easy. Ever since the beginning of the year, there was that blowout with it was Rhys Hoskins, right?
Mhm.
And McNeil. The Brewers seem to take that personally, and the rest was history. And the Brewers also have home field. If the Mets would have been playing in Citi Field, I think I would pick the Mets 1000%. I think they have some magic there, the grimace thing, all that shit. But they got to go to Milwaukee, and
Hawk Tua.
yeah, I mean it's tough. They don't got Manaea going in game 1. They don't have. I think it's Sevy. I think they're gonna have
Sevy's pitching tomorrow.
Sevy going in game 1. And it's not a knock on Sevy, but yeah, I mean Sevy has
Okay,
a
Francis hates Sevy, okay?
But we've seen Sevy in the
I'm going to let him
postseason.
know, okay?
Oh, he just guys. I mean, Pete, you remember was Sevy the greatest big game pitcher?
No.
So
not
He had, I think it was a wild card against Oakland. That was his best.
his best showing.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those situations like everyone that you've asked us this far, Pete. My heart goes one way, but my mind just tells me another. My heart is with
Fair
the
game.
My heart is with the Mets, but my mind is telling me Brew Crew.
Fair game. Fair game. Let's go to the other series. That is, look at this one. Atlanta versus San Diego. And I tell you this right now, one of the teams I would not want to face is the San Diego Padres. I know a lot of people may sit there and go, that team always falters. They never come through. If you are down to the San Diego Padres in the 5th inning, you're in fucking trouble. You're in some deep waters very, very quickly. Their bullpen is stupid.
Nails.
It's stupid. So if you are down to San Diego, that is why I got to go that route. And look, they're playing high, man. Manny Machado started off horrible. The guy is a future Hall of Famer, and he showed it this year. He came back big. With all the hate and the anger towards Fernando Tatis, the man has showed up and showed out. Luis Ariz, the list goes on and on and on with that club. Very good team. They lose Juan Soto, and they're right where they need to be. That's not a knock on Soto, because guess what? The Yankees are there too. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and say they absolutely wiped the floor with the Braves, and I think they're going to be a hot team going in to face the Los Angeles Dodgers. Kev, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, I agree, man. That San Diegans, whatever Anchorman calls them, stay classy, San Diego. But listen, I think that team is a lot of people have been talking about it on both sides. I mean, that's a team you don't want to face in the World Series. That's a team I don't think you want to face in the National League. Again, another team that's playing very well. They're in sync. I mean, the Jackson Merrill's having an insane season. I mean, he's just. Only Paul Skeens is going to take away the Rookie of the Year from that kid, and look how good Paul Skeens is.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, for that whole team, Luis Ariz starting it off there for them. Bogart's also hitting now, and like you said, your bullpen. Don't sleep on Cease, Musgrove, and Yu Darvish. They've been there, they've done that. They've been in wildcard games in Citi Field, in enemy territory, and all they do is live up to it. So I can't go against them. I think the Braves barely just got in. They scraped to get in, honestly. And I think that the San Diego Padres get it done. And plus, I think that the San Diego will be a much better matchup for the LA Dodgers. I want the LA Dodgers done in the LDS. So I think San Diego's a team to do that. I don't think the Mets. I don't think that.
Yeah, just to go back to, you said Sevy's best postseason performance was the wild card game.
I thought it was.
No, I'm just saying
okay?
it's still not that good. I mean, 4 scoreless innings, but he walked 4 and threw 87 pitches. So I mean, it's
Yeah, it was a slog.
Yeah, it wasn't easy to get through. I'll just say no sale for Atlanta, and I just think San Diego is a better team. So I think it'll be 2-1 out for the Braves.
Wow, easy enough. Francis?
2-1 out for the Braves. I'm with Christian. San Diego is too much for them. The bullpen's too much. The lineup is too much. and I think their starting pitching has been overlooked because of everything else and the struggles that they've had. But when you match them up with Atlanta, I think they have just enough. So definitely going with San Diego, and I'm with Kev. I think they're a much better matchup for the Dodgers.
And shout
No
out
doubt
to
about it.
Michael King, game 1 starter for the Padres.
Hell of a year, man.
He's gonna
What a
fucking shrug.
friggin' year.
He's
And
gonna
the
shrug.
crazy thing is, we did this with, I'll say this really quickly, because we did this with Carlos Rodon, where you take away some starts and you go, hey, man, that rough stretch, guy probably has close to or under a 3 ERA. You could do that with Michael King. The guy still had under a 3 ERA, I believe he finished. And he had a couple of outings where he gave a 5+ runs. I mean, he had a couple of really bad outings this year. So shout out to Michael King. We got a super
Imagine
chat
King was
before
our
we
king.
move on.
Super.
Danny says, sup, I'm calling it now. Upsets are coming. Tigers beat Stros. KC beats O's. San Diego takes out Braves. And Dodgers, yep, I said we go versus the Padres in the World Series. We're going to be getting to ours
That's
very,
gonna be
very soon.
that's gonna be wild.
That's absolutely
There's so
crazy
many
to see.
matchups that the Yankees are just like pick whoever you want from that side, except the Braves. I really don't care. I mean, at that point, but if they play
And
the
they still
Mets,
got history there too because of
Yeah.
the past World Series.
Of
So
course.
there's history with everybody that is in the postseason right now. So let's get to that. Whatever your matchup was, ALDS. We're gonna of course start with our new. Do you guys want to start with the Yankees or do you want to start the other way around so we could just pick those other teams quickly?
Let's leave the Yankees last.
All right,
Yeah.
leave the Yankees last. That's fair game to me.
let's start
So
right away.
I
with
had
Dodgers.
the Astros versus the Guardians. I'm again gonna go ahead and say the Houston Astros. I'll say the Houston Astros go on. Whoever you guys had for your other ALDS game, we'll start with Francis.
Yeah. If I went with Tigers. So if it's Tigers and Guardians, I got the Guardians getting through. If the Astros do win the wild card, I think the Astros dispose of the Guardians.
Okay, Kev.
I had Detroit while beating the Stros, right?
Yep,
Yes. Oh no, I had the Stros. I'm sorry, because they've been there.
you did.
Yeah.
That's
So
correct.
listen, I don't know what we've talked about it. They made some adjustments, and it's there. It's clear as day. They made some adjustments to their right field, their grandstand up there, and air gets before it was blocked, and now you got a bunch of tunnels that air pours through. And this is the year that the Guardians have had the most home runs in the last 10 years. So I mean, it's like it's a different little aspect when it comes to their ballpark. Again, going to a team who also has a great bullpen because Class A is having I think his best year.
Phenomenal.
So I mean, that's a team you don't want to trail either. I think that they finally get through to the Houston Astros and they beat the Astros. I'm going with the Guardians.
Nice, Christian.
I picked the Tigers to get past Houston. Oh man, it's tough. It's
Tough,
hard.
man.
It's tough. If I'm
It is
gonna
tough.
go Tigers over Houston, then I got to go Tigers over Cleveland, and they'll be in the ALCS.
Woo!
Oh my God.
I don't know, man. Tarek Skubal, he's an animal, bro. I'm gonna.
I don't want
ride
to see
him.
that guy twice, bro.
I
No,
gotta.
I wouldn't want to see him twice. Not at all. But no, valid.
We had 2 Cinderella teams in the World Series last year.
Yeah.
I got to figure one will
One of
at least
them.
make it to a championship series this year. So I'll take the Tigers as that Cinderella team.
All right, let's go on to talk about a damn series for me. Mets versus the Phillies. You talk about those stadiums are going to be absolutely insane. And I am taking Red October. The Philadelphia Phillies will move on. They're going back to the NLCS. That is my pick there. Phillies all day. Bryce Harper. Shout out to Johan Rojas, our friend.
Sir.
That's what I'm going with right there. I'm going with the Philadelphia Phillies moving on. Let's start with Christian. Who do you got in your first NLDS?
Hey, yo, Adrian, I got to pick the Phillies in that one, okay?
Francis.
Phillies. It could be even if the Mets do beat the Brewers, I like the Phillies. I like the
All
Phillies.
right.
Yeah.
Red October is
a real thing.
is a real thing.
It's a real thing.
It is, man. It's one of those last ballparks that in playoff in October is just insane. I would. The Mets are 6-7 against the Phillies this year, so they're right under 500. But I think their 1-2 punch is better than the Mets 1-2 punch. I'm gonna go Phillies, but it's not by much, honestly. The Mets are playing a brand of baseball, and they believe in themselves, and they're having fun over there in Salsa con Fuego is what I call City Field now. But I still think that the Phillies edge them out there in the LDS.
So for anybody in the chat that was attacking us for picking the Mets at all, look, we got them out. All right, take a deep breath, relax a little bit, take a breather, and you're good to go. Don't worry about it. The other series that you guys have, I have it being the Padres versus the Dodgers. We're putting up these series, by the way, are going to do crazy numbers for Major League Baseball. Are. Padres versus the Dodgers. The only annoying thing about this for me is I just fucking feel like, doesn't it feel like it's destined that Ohtani's going to be in the World Series? I mean, maybe Baseball. No, look, no, I'm not picking them. I'm picking the Padres. I think the Padres are going to move on. They're my team to move on. That is my NLCS, Padres, Phillies. But I don't fucking know. The whole Ohtani love story, I don't see it disappearing that quickly. I don't know, but look, my heart tells me San Diego. I feel like my mind is saying it's going to be the Dodgers, but I am going Padres all day. I'm sticking with San Diego. I think they go on to the NLCS. Kev, we'll start with you.
The team that smoked Yamamoto was the San Diego Padres. So I mean, listen, I think that they play well in that building too. Like, I just think that they don't give a shit about. They're always looking up, and they dislike the Dodgers as much as a lot of us do. And it's just because they keep like, okay, Jose Ramirez was the first guy to do 39 home runs, 39 stolen bases, and 39 doubles. We're just gonna do 50-50. They blew that up so much. It's like, oh my god, I'm with everybody. I'm so done with the Dodgers, bro. I don't care about anything, actually. I'm just picking the Padres no matter what. I don't want to see the freaking Dodgers anymore. All right?
Francis, who you got?
I'm with Kev, and I'm going to take this moment to just put it out here to MLB. You guys, I know you think you're doing great with this Ohtani coverage and stuff, but I don't know, you're making me hate the guy. You're making me hate the guy. All right?
A lot of fans.
I am sick and tired of it. It's too much. All right. And I'm not saying that you got to replace that with Judge, because I would get sick of that too. Believe it or not. I'm a Yankees fan, and I'm telling you, I would get sick of it. This is Major League Baseball. You have stars everywhere. Bobby Witt Jr. had an amazing freaking season. Paul Skeens had an amazing season.
Jackson
Luis
Merrill.
Arias is the reason that your Golden Boy is not winning the Triple Crown. He gets one post. But everything Ohtani does, Ohtani wakes up and takes a deep breath, and you never seen somebody take a deep breath so good.
He takes a shit. They post about it.
It's like I'm sorry, but it's like you're making it really tough to wanna wanna like the guy. And I'm not saying I gotta like him, but it's like he is one of the premier players in the game, if not one of the best players in the game, and arguably the best. I think Aaron Judge is better, but that's me. I
agree.
Here's the thing: when you cover him the way that they cover him, you almost make him a villain, and it sucks that you're making a villain out of him, because I don't know what kind of guy this is. I mean, the whole gambling thing, I don't know, but I don't know what kind
of Ipe.
He might be a nice guy. He might be a nice guy.
I don't know. You let your best friend do 20 years for you?
I'm just trying to, but I had to go on that tangent, because it's gotten to a point where they've gone too far. They've gone too far, and I feel like, yo, man, there's so many other players. I mean, Lindor, with his heroics down the stretch, deserve more love. Jose Ramirez, to me, deserve more love. Luis Arias deserve more love. Machado, Tatis, and the Padres, more love. Aaron Judge, more love. Soto, more love. Like, there's so many other players, bro, and all they do is just shellac Ohtani shit every single day. It's nuts. I'm picking the Padres, bro. I'm sorry. It is what it is. This has nothing to do with everything I just said about Ohtani. It has everything to do with the Padres being due to finally break through against the Dodgers. They've had their moments against the Dodgers, but they haven't really hit the Dodgers with that fatal punch, that real punch that shows them we here. Like, for real, you can't continue to little bro us. Like, we really out here now. And I think this is the year that they're gonna do it, because this is the year that the Dodgers are supposed to do it. I think the Padres play spoiler and beat them.
I can see it. Christian, who you got?
Could you really see Ohtani's first venture into the postseason being a 3-1 loss to the to the Padres.
I could see it 3-2.
I don't know, man.
It's hard. I know I have a tough time with the same thing.
But at the same time,
What if he disappears? What if he disappears in the series?
because he's a bitch. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
I wasn't going that far.
No, I am, because I don't care. He's a great player. He's the unicorn. He's a bitch, though. I mean, we've known that since 2018. That when he wouldn't even talk to the Yankees because he had to go hide out in Anaheim for 6 years, and then now he's got the perfect setup for himself in Los Angeles. That's the only reason why he went to a big market. This guy's a bitch. Okay,
I think he still hides from the media too, doesn't he?
The facts are facts.
Yes, he hasn't talked with anybody, bro.
And people are like, "Oh, but what about the World Baseball Club?" That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing as playing for the Yankees or the Red Sox or being in a big spotlight in the postseason. There's no disrespect to the World Baseball. It's an exhibition, though. You know, you can tell me everything that you want to tell me about it. It's not the same thing as going out there now trying to win a World Series when everybody is watching you, because not everybody is still watching the World Baseball. We're watching it because we're hardcore baseball fans, but it does attracting casual viewers. Now, people are going to pay attention to Ohtani in the postseason now. And 50-50. And Joe Davis was literally ejaculating on the 50-50 game.
Hey,
the greatest day. I'm not allowed to say that?
No, you can say whatever you like.
I'm gonna come.
That's what he said. That's exactly what he said on the stream.
50-50 game. He's proclaiming it the greatest day in the history of baseball.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, that's when.
Bro,
again,
Ricky stole the 100 bags with no rules.
Bro, but that's again what Francis is talking about. That's when it gets too far, and you go, bro. Now you guys are now you're pushing it. Come on,
The third home run.
Everybody's gonna say the guy's great. We all know Ohtani's great. Ohtani's a great ball player, one of the best in the game. You make the argument that is him or Judge offensively, no doubt about that.
Judge's OPS plus was 33 points higher than Ohtani's.
The glazing is ridiculous, and I believe. Even a sane Dodgers fan will sit there and go, they do go a little far, but we love the guy, but I think they go a little far. Because I know I would if it was Judge. I'd be like, all right, I get it, but Jesus, come on. There's other guys out there. Like, let's be honest. To say that is batshit. That's bananas. That's absolutely bananas.
So just two quick things to move on here. Number one, would this be as over the top as it's been this year had he had not had the gambling scandal in spring training? Are they really trying that hard to make you forget that actually happened?
That's what it is. Good point.
Okay, that's number one. And I think San Diego San Diego's got much better pitching. So it would be hard for me to see Ohtani just based on just everything, like could one and done for Ohtani, but San Diego's pitching is so much better than the Dodgers. So if I'm looking at it purely tunnel vision baseball perspective, I'm going to take the Padres here.
Perfect. And Christian, I know you had to go around this time. Do you want to wrap up your picks and then you can hop off?
Sure. So where are we at? The ALCS. I got the tie.
We have all you got to do is the ALCS, NLCS, and then your World Series picks.
Well, I'll go start here at the NLCS. Well, the ALDS, I didn't officially pick the Yankees. I'm going to. I mean, if we're not picking the Yankees to get out of the ALDS, why did we just spend the last 2 hours talking?
Facts.
Okay.
I think everybody knows we probably got the Yankees going to the ALCS.
So I'll take the Yankees that come to beat the Orioles. It'll be a tough series. It'll probably go 5. I'll take the Yankees. I think the Yankees will have the advantage there because they'll be able to throw Garrett Cole twice. And I don't know if the Orioles will be able to throw Burns twice because they'll have to use them in the wild card round. And then coming out of the National League, I got the Dodgers. Had the Dodgers out, San Diego and Philly. That's going to be a tough one, man. I'm really going to be, if that's how it shakes out, I'm going to be really excited to watch that series. I think that'll be a lot of fun to watch it as a baseball fan. But ultimately, that's a really tough one to call, man. I don't know. Again, if I'm looking at it from a pure baseball perspective, I think San Diego's pitching is better than Philly's, and I'll take them to go to the World Series there.
Wow.
And then if any, I know a lot of fans, oh, I'm scared of this, I'm scared of that. I'm scared of one thing for the Yankees in the postseason, and that's having to face Tarek Skubal in a series.
Mm.
They cannot hit left-handed pitching, and he's the best starting pitcher in baseball this season. That should
And he's a
and
left.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They can't hit left-handed pitching, and he's the best pitcher in baseball. And I'm already having PTSD of Randy Johnson coming in there, shutting us out twice in 2 starts, and then coming out of the friggin' bullpen in Game 7. But I don't know, man. I think that's where the magic carpet ride ends for the Tigers. If I'm going to tell you that this is the most confident that I've been in an Aaron Boone-led team going into October, then I got to tell you that this is the first Aaron Boone team that's going to get out of the American League. And then why stop there, man? Well, honestly, you call me a homer, that's fine. I don't care. I want to win.
okay.
I want to win so fucking bad this year. I do. I can taste it. I just want to win. I don't care. I'm done arguing over Dominguez, Verdugo, who's going to I'm done. I don't care. Just get it done.
Yep.
Yankees, Padres. I'm not going to say it's going to be a massacre like it was in
Woo.
98, but give me the Yanks in 6, 28. Let's do it. I mean,
There you
yeah,
guys go.
yeah, man. I'm being a homer with that. That's fine. I can easily see the Yankees getting knocked down in the ALDS too, but I really think that with Juan Soto being here has really changed the attitude of this team. And something that I really, really liked about this team that we haven't seen out of Aaron Boone teams is that when they smelled the blood in the water, when they were on the West Coast to put the division to bed, they did it.
Agreed.
Agreed.
And I think this is the year that Aaron Judge has his A-Rod's year.
Oh my God.
Woo.
Hold on.
Talk about-
Hold on.
I'm gonna come.
Don't tell me that.
Forget about it. We ain't gonna make it through half of these damn games. I gotta call these games. Let me, I gotta take it easy over there. But Christian, man, I appreciate you. We appreciate you here, man. Thank you for all your the time today and also all your picks. Christian, of course, has the New York Yankees winning the World Series. Christian, see you soon, my friend.
See you later, fellas.
All right, let's continue on. Oh shit! Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. I can fix this.
What the hell happened here,
What in
boy?
my God!
I lost
Look
my
at the NYY you hat.
Oh my God! Paul Francis is gone.
Put
One
Jason
second,
Dominguez
let me
in where Clark Schmidt. We should have had
There
a
he
Clark Schmidt
is.
picture to put right under where
Oh, these are all old. Let me switch back. So we're going on. So for us right here, we still got to do our what is it? We have to do the ALDS for us. So I'll start there. I got the Yankees. I think everybody knows my ALCS is Astros Yankees. Oh boy, it's that time again, isn't it? Astros New York Yankees. Ladies and gentlemen, I am gonna say right now, you ready for this? The New York Yankees will lose to the Astros.
I
Just
haven't.
kidding.
No.
I'm
I
joking.
wasn't.
I do. I have the New York Yankees defeating the Astros. And honestly, it is because of one man.
Hey!
I think Juan Soto was going to be more important than anybody ever thought. Do you guys remember how the Yankees began the year? I think they played a team called the Houston Astros.
Yes,
The
sir.
biggest difference that both teams had was Juan Soto was on the New York Yankees. Now, the one thing I've seen Houston Astros fans tweet already is, oh man, but Juan Soto scares us. He better scare you. I believe Juan Soto is going to help the Yankees overcome the Houston Astros and the New York Yankees. Yes, led by manager Aaron Boone, I am saying it, will go to the World Series. They win the American League pennant, and they move on to finally defeat a team that has given us agita every single year. And they go to the World Series again. And I'm going to say this, it won't go to a Game 7. It'll be a Game 6 where the New York Yankees win. They do it at home, and they go ahead and move on to the World Series. Let's go with Kev next. Who do you got going for the American League?
Well, we got to find out. We got to keep we got to keep.
Led by Aaron Boone. Listen,
I'll be
I just-
singing Taylor Swift, baby. Come on.
I just heard somebody say that Mark Leiter might make this postseason roster. If that happens, oh my God. Listen,
Mark
I
Leiter
have
said that?
to.
Was that
No,
Mark
no, no,
Leiter
no,
who
no.
said it?
No.
No,
I
it was-
have
it
to
was a burner.
believe
It was Mark Leiter's burner account. Had to be.
that at this point, we've seen where Boone goes to Ian Hamilton and Luke Weaver, and he's trying to give Clay the 7th. But if Jake Cousins come through, then you got Jake. I have to believe that Boone is gonna do the right moves, and they've done that as of late. Luke Weaver does look better at the closing role. That's what really concerns me. And man, listen, I have then the Guardians and the Yankees in the ALCS, and I do have the Yankees. You had Houston Astros. Even if it's the Astros, I agree with you. I think this is the year that the Yankees slay the beast. Go back and look at that first series with the Houston Astros. Look how different. You're gonna need an X factor. Waldo was that X factor. We knew Soto was gonna be there, and Soto, man, against Hader, against Abreu, it didn't matter who the fuck threw. Soto was on all of them.
Yep.
Right? So Jazz wasn't even part of this team.
Nope.
Another electric player. Is Verdugo going to be a Chihuahua or is he going to be a pit bull? We don't know that either. The Martian. So listen, I agree with you 100%, Pete. Even if it's the Guardians or the Astros, I think the Yankees come out champions in the ALCS. And we finally, listen, we know we got to win the World Series, but feels so good just to be back. And it's going to be so good to have the Yankees back in the World Series. And I have to agree that the Yankees are champions in the AL.
Wow. Francis, who you got over there? Don't you be different now.
Yeah, this is the moment where all that different stuff kind of stops. I just don't see how the Yankees don't take advantage of this year. It seems as if the baseball guys have kind of smiled on us for once. And it really, truly does feel and look like this is the Yankees' year to at the very least break out of the American League. I think it could very well be Houston. Again, I'm picking Detroit to shock Houston. So I'm picking Detroit to shock Houston, and then I think Cleveland's going to beat Detroit, even though that was a very close series throughout the year between Cleveland and Detroit. I think Cleveland will edge them. And I think it'll be, Yankees and Cleveland for the ALCS. And I think we dispatch of Cleveland without too much issue. 6 games maybe. There's no disrespect to them. But
starting pitching.
if the Yankees are hella motivated, it depends. Like again, this team is a team that has always played to competition throughout this season. If it does end up being the Yankees in Houston, I do want to say this caveat that the team that we had the benefit of playing Houston twice very early in the year.
Correct.
They were not the team that they are right now.
That's true.
Yeah, and
the team that they
Hader has been an absolute beast too.
Yeah, the team that they are right now looks a lot more like that 2019 team, that 2017 team, if you will. Those teams that gave us problems, those teams that were coming into October firing on the right cylinders and everything. The one thing, though, that does give me pause, and this is why I said what I said before, if Yordan isn't 100, to me, that lineup is completely different.
Hell yeah.
It's just completely different.
Especially against the Yankees.
I know they got other guys in the lineup, and these are good players, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Altuve is Altuve, all right? Bregman, he could have an off year, whatever. Once the calendar switches to October, these are guys who've been there and done that. I forget which one of you said it, but I know one of you already said it, that they have this playoff pedigree to them, and you can't discount that. But if Yordan is not 100%, man, that just really changes the way I look at that lineup, especially with a Yankees team that has shown from the last series in 2023 through this year, they don't look afraid of them anymore. And that was my issue with them in the past.
I was going to ask you, France, do you think there's still a mental aspect?
No. And
Okay.
that's probably why, even if it does end up being Yankees in Houston, because in 2022, that mental aspect to me was still 100% prevalent.
Yep.
And I think that had a lot to do with why we got swept, because as bad as we were that year, there's no way in the bluest of hells that we should have gotten swept Four
Seven
games to none.
hells.
4 games to none to me. That was mental. They beat themselves a lot in that series. They beat themselves a lot. And even though it was just 4 games, they beat themselves a lot. All right. This is a team where, yes, we've had our instances throughout the season where we make mistakes and they kind of throw up on themselves. But when it comes to Houston, I don't see that fear anymore. Juan Soto's not afraid of them. Jason Dominguez is not afraid of them. Jazz Chisholm is not afraid of them.
Come on, baby.
They not afraid of them. It just is what it is. Dominguez came up last year, and literally this was his debut series, and he didn't give a shit who was pitching. His first home run was off one of the best brand names in baseball. He took Christian Javier deep. Like, Jason Dominguez is not afraid of these people. We already know Juan Soto has experience. He carried the bat to first base after he hit that moonshot over there. Like, I love the team that we have this year, largely in part because they don't have those ties to 2017, 2019, even 2022.
Verlander also doesn't seem like the same guy, and that could obviously turn on immediately. But here's something I do want to, before we move on to the NL, I want to kind of stay on Astros Yankees here. Francis brought up a really good point. He said, "What about, is Alvarez going to be okay? Is he going to play?" Let's go ahead with best case scenario here for both clubs and say that Alvarez is playing. You know what my biggest concern is? After the starting pitcher for the Yankees is out, who on God's green earth is getting that man out? Because you know the matchup I saw? I saw Nestor Cortez.
Yeah.
Coming in a big moment and going one-on-one with Alvarez. But right now in that pen, I know we all like Tim Hill. Tim Hill has had the best time he's ever had in the major leagues, by the way, with the Yankees. You could go look the numbers up. He's never been a better pitcher than he has been with the New York Yankees. But my concern is, who is the person that you're comfortable with? Canely scares the shit out of me against a guy like him. Can't be Canely. Canely's been a guy that Boone goes to against lefties. Clark Schmidt, does he come out? Who's that? Who would be that person?
Healthy.
Kev, go ahead.
Kirk Cousins.
Oh, there you go.
That slider's disgusting. He's hitting 280 against righties instead of he actually has reverse splits. He's hitting worse against righties. He's hitting 280 against righty. That's why I'm saying Jordan, it just doesn't have to be a lefty. But that Jay Cousins slider, and the only reason I'm not saying Ian Hamilton, because Ian Hamilton's the 8th inning guy. But if it's 2 guys on, 2 outs or 1 out, and Alvarez is up, I think the only guy that God, please don't say Clay Holmes. But I'm just like, no, honestly. But I think Cousins, if Cousins is available, I think Cousins is that guy, bro. That slider is disgusting, bro. It is. And if he throws it for a strike, or even like he gets so many chases on it, on ground balls, like Cousins is going to be a huge piece of this bullpen. I really hope that this kid can be healthy and be ready.
Well, he should definitely be ready to get to the ALCS.
Yeah.
I think he'd be good to go. Francis, what's your thoughts on that?
Y'all gonna kill me for this, but depending on the situation, I know you're gonna kill me.
I think you're gonna say what I think you're gonna say, because I was thinking the same thing.
Clay Holmes.
I was gonna say it.
Clay Holmes.
Go ahead.
Listen,
I'm gonna let you talk.
He's been what he's been, and we know what he's been. We get it. It's true. His numbers, though, I guess against a guy like Alvarez in the postseason, say you get the first out of the inning, but that's it. You're at the end of the rope with whoever was pitching, and now you got to go to somebody to get Alvarez and the next guy out to get you those 2 outs. And say you're in the 7th inning, like, I don't want to necessarily burn Cousins right there. And if we got a 1-run lead, 2-run lead, yeah, it's close. And yes, Clay Holmes could give up a home run that gets you out, but I don't know. There's a possibility that Clomes,
that should be his name.
That it's a possibility that Holmes is an option in that predicament. I can't believe I'm saying it, but it's just like, I'm just thinking back to when Holmes has been successful. When he has been successful, Alvarez is a guy that he 1000% can solve.
And I'll also just add one more thing in there too. We're focusing on Alvarez, but there's also another lefty near Kyle Tucker.
Yes.
Who is an absolute animal. You talk about pairing that guy up against anybody. Who gets those guys out? That is my major concern. And again, this is why I say Nestor Cortez is the biggest loss that the Yankees have had There's no denying that Nestor Cortez has the biggest loss because he could do so many different things. Well, if we're,
maybe he comes back by the CS.
I don't think he's pitching at all. I mean, that's best case scenario. I hope. You never know, but we'll see
You
what
can get
happens
him.
there.
I mean, if it's a, what is the injury exactly? I forgot what it was. It's
UCL was a UCL strain.
but it's not. But it's intact.
Yeah,
So
correct.
it's rest. So if
The
we can,
rest thing,
like, listen, if
He's
we
getting
only
I think
get,
he's getting the PRP shot.
yeah, if we can
gotta
get
be.
him, if we could get him in the ALCS, and all he needs to do, honestly, I think the Yankees maybe conserve him as the bullpen guy and have him in big spots.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, coming in here again, he makes Devers and fucking Shohei look like fools. That's one
what
thing
I'm
he
saying.
does. He makes
He's-
them good, big lefties. He makes them look foolish sometimes.
And the
So
one thing about Nestor Cortez that we all know, ain't shit gonna scare him.
no, he's
So
ready
Nestor
for it.
Cortez not gonna be one of those dudes that roll over and go, oh, shit, this moment's too big for us. Definitely not. Let's go on to the National League Championship Series, and then we will talk about our World Series matchup. I have the Phillies taking on the Padres, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am completely torn on this one. This is almost for me to do a toss-up because I really have no idea who will win this series. I like both of these teams a lot. They're definitely the two teams that I enjoy the most in the National League. Phillies are an awesome ball club. We know the guys they got on that club. I like the Padres a lot. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. This decision I'm making on this one is more of a I'm a fan of these players type decision. I'm going with the San Diego Padres. Fernando Tatis, Luis Ariz. I want to see Manny Machado face the Yankees again. I kind of miss it. I know that might sound nuts, but I miss seeing Manny Machado play some third base. I miss the crazy plays. I miss seeing him in a lineup of a team that we're facing. And Fernando Tatis, I'll be fair, I don't get to see a lot of him. So it would be nice to watch him in a World Series and see what he could do with Soto in there, Tatis in there. It'll be an exciting World Series. It's East Coast versus West Coast. It's the rematch of 1998. That is the route I'm going. I am going New York Yankees, San Diego Padres, World Series. I will say that one goes to Game 7, and the Yankees are waiting for whoever they're going to play, and I'm going to say it's going to be the San Diego Padres. Francis, who you got?
That's probably going to be one of the better series throughout the entire playoffs because both teams are box office on both sides of the ball. I see the Phillies a little bit like the Yankees this year, where they didn't necessarily roll through the season as a lot of people predicted them to. They had moments where they struggled mightily, and people started raising every question in the book the same way the Yankees did. In recent years, they have come close, right? And they've had great performances in the postseason, and they've had good series, but they just haven't been able to get over the hump and get back. I feel like this is the year for Philadelphia. It's really not a situation where I can sit here and literally pick apart the matchup and break you down why I think this guy's going to beat this guy or that guy's going to beat that guy. This is more of a gut thing that just keeps telling me that we're headed for a collision course of a rematch of 2009. And it's the Phillies just feel like this is that year for them. The same way I said, I feel like it's the year the Yankees finally get back. I feel like it's the same for Philly. I mean, look at how close they were. Look at how close they've been, right? I mean, they pretty much there's no excuse for them not beating Arizona, I would say, right? To me, I think they were 1000% supposed to win that series, and they let it get away from them. And I think looking at their faces at the end of that series, and if I'm not mistaken, that went 7 games because I feel like we were on game season when the Diamondbacks eliminated them.
Correct.
Looking at, I just remember, I can't take the looks on these players' faces out of my head. What was Bryce Harper, Schwarber, real like these are guys that like, I don't know, man, but it looked like a team that was like, okay, like not again. So could they make me look crazy in a couple weeks? 1000%. But I just feel like this is a team that's not going to allow the same things that kind of bit them last year to do it. I think they're going to wake up come October, and I think it's going to be a great series. That shit might go 7.
I got to go 7. I got to
But
go with 7.
here's the caveat with this year. They do have home field, and Philly's no joke. Philly's no joke. It's gonna be
Not
a
at all.
place to play. Yeah.
And it's funny because we actually joked around with Doug from Victus that might be the matchup this year. So during our interview with NYU on site, we mentioned that. Kev, who you got?
Man, listen, you remember their faces? You remember San Diego's faces when they lost to them in the NLCS?
Yeah.
That year when they went on their Cinderella run?
It's true.
They have not forgotten, and their bullpen is way better, light years ahead of what their bullpen was in that NLCS. I'm not disagreeing with you, Francis. It's a tough. It's a tough
in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a tough thing for me because I live 40 minutes from Citizens Bank Park, and when the Phillies are in the playoffs, this is the most annoying place to live for the next 2 weeks because everybody all of a sudden starts wearing the Philly shit red, and everybody
October,
all the casuals come out. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Nobody's until they're in the playoffs. Let me dust off my my Utley jersey and
my Roy Halladay jersey.
Oh my God! So
rest in peace.
But I think that the baseball that I've seen the San Diego Padres play, I don't know if, I mean, I don't see that same energy from that run that the Phillies made. Can they turn it on? Yes. Right now, we're all making these predictions with not even seeing a game. So I got to go with the San Diego Padres. I do think that it's just and they're gonna call it the battle for Soto or whatever the case may be. Whatever, it's gonna be ridiculous. I mean, no matter who plays in the World Series, I think it's panned out to be a very great matchup. But I think it's gonna be the San Diego Padres against the Yankees, and I think that the Yankees, Giancarlo loves playing in Petco Park. Our guys hit well in that ballpark.
Yep.
I think that the Yankees will. I don't even think it's 7 games. I think the Yankees and the Padres is gonna go to 6. Honestly, I think the Yankees are gonna edge out and be champions again, bro. And 28 comes home.
Wow. Look at that. Kev got it.
Soto's going to flip that bat all the way up, and he's going to look at them and go like this. See you fucking later.
Wait. He's going to do the Fernando Tatis on Fernando Tatis?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, look at this. Hey, look. Francis, I'm just going to jump in. Kev already gave his. I'm going to jump in with him. Look, man, I'm going to be as fucking honest as honest can get here. I am saying the New York Yankees today out of love of the New York Yankees. I am not overly confident that the New York Yankees are going to go all the way, but let me tell you why I'm saying they are. I'm saying they are because when else? When else? And I know that might sound crazy to some because they're going to sit back, right, and go, well, Pete, it's always another year, right? Yeah, there is. But what lane? I don't feel like I remember a lane when the New York Yankees have had such a chance to easily, nothing's easy, but they have the pathway to say we are back in the World Series. And then here's my answer to why they're going to win. Because in the World Series, any friggin' thing can happen. And I feel like Aaron Judge is not going to let me down in the World Series. Soto is not going to let me down in the World Series. And for 7 hells, there's going to be another player in that lineup that steps up and shows up. And let me tell you guys something here.
Yeah, Jazz Chisholm.
Let me tell you
Giancarlo, there's so
something
many that can show up in that series, bro.
The regular season, once October 5th gets here, doesn't mean dick. I'm talking to you, Anthony Volpe. It doesn't mean dick.
Yep.
Your average people sitting there going, Anthony Volpe can't be the shortstop next year. Oh, Anthony Volpe needs it. Anthony Volpe has a chance to be so dynamic in the postseason that he can 150% be the difference maker that the Yankees need. And I am going to bet on Anthony Volpe to show up and show out this postseason. And if it gets to that World Series, like my prediction is that they face the Philadelphia Phillies, the guys that I mentioned and the New York Yankees will win it in 6 games, and they will be World Series champions. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would like to be a part of the room when they re-sign Aaron Boone after it, because at the end of the day,
you're going to apologize for singing.
I'll sing. We can argue. We can be angry. We can be mad. We could critique. We could criticize. But everybody that you guys watch on this network wants to see the Yankees win. No matter what, whether we get mad during a regular season, we react, doesn't matter. We all want to see the Yankees hold up that trophy and hashtag bring it home. That is all we want. I got the Yankees in 6. Francis, I turn it over to you.
Piggybacking off that last, I just wanted to throw in there the Padres against the Phillies are 1-5 this year. Now that's prior to the deadline, and they changed a lot post deadline. But that is something to look out, to just think about, because in terms of like pitching and stuff like that, they did see starters. They did well. This is again why I'm going with Philly, and I'm picking my Yankees. I'm picking
Yankees break their hearts again.
I think I think we're gonna break their hearts again. And I think, look, I can't tell you again. I can't tell you what it is exactly about this team that makes me believe in them the way that I do. I mean,
Soto.
They had it could,
Soto.
you know what's funny? It could be that simple. It could be that simple. But I feel like it's even more than Soto. I feel like Kev just said, like, I feel like Giancarlo can have a big, game that changes a series. I feel like Jazz can change a series. I feel like, I don't know. You just mentioned Volpe. Volpe maybe did not have the season that he wanted. Did not have the season that Yankees fans wanted. Come October 5th, all the numbers are 0 again.
That's right. Doesn't matter.
Like,
Doesn't
for all we know, that's all he needs is a clean slate to decide
nice break
to be who the Yankees have always thought he was going to be. I don't know. It's 11 wins that the Yankees need. And I don't know who are the guys that are going to be the reason why they get those 11 wins. But for whatever reason, this year, I feel like they're going to get those 11 wins. So this is the first year in a very long time that those 11 wins don't feel like an insurmountable, goal. It feels very freaking attainable. All right. And this is why I'll be honest with you. All of my picks could be wrong in terms of opponent. We could face 3 different people from the people that I said, but I honestly don't give a shit because the Yankees' biggest opponent in 2024 is the Yankees. It's them.
No doubt.
Them. And so long as we don't beat ourselves, I don't think anybody's beating us. And yes, we don't have the best rotation. Yes, we don't have the best bullpen, but God damn it, we got Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. And I'm sorry, bro. I'll take our 1-2 versus anybody's 1-2. I don't care who it is. All right. Otani, Schmotani. I don't care.
Schmomani.
I don't care. Like, I don't. All right. Machado's good. Tatis, amazing. Box office. Shout out to the MVP. That's our favorite player. I don't care.
She'll be happy.
I don't care. Bro, Soto and Judge, bro. This is nuts. These 2 players in October. Yes, it's going to be, Soto's been there, done that. We're hoping that Judge has that A-Rod run. Maybe he does. Maybe all he needed was having a running mate the level of Juan Soto for him to go out there and say, I'm about to drag my nuts all over these people in October too. Who knows?
Yo.
But I just think this is it, bro. I don't know if it's going to be 5 games. I don't know if it's going to be 6 games. I don't know if it's going to have to go 7 games. But nothing would surprise me other than the Yankees not doing it. I really think they're going to do it this year. I think this is
It would certainly be a major letdown this year. And I know there's a lot of, like Francis just said, we can sit here all day with you guys. And he just said it. I don't care if the Yankees don't have the greatest bullpen. We all know that. We're not saying that the Yankees don't have flaws. They do. If a starter, I was telling this to Kev yesterday calling the game. If the New York Yankees starter goes, God forbid, 4 innings one day, I'm terrified of that game. I'm terrified because that middle relief, I am absolutely terrified. I'm banking on this shit, man. I really am. You guys have been with us for for a couple of years now, and we'll always sit here and go, I just don't feel it, man. But Francis is right. Is it Juan Soto? Is it that some things have fallen this club's way? I don't know what it is, but it just feels like if the year was gonna happen, if it's gonna happen, it feels like 2024 is the year, the way it's shaped up. That's the main reason why I'm going with the Yankees. And look, anything can happen. The team could be out of the ALDS. The team could be out of anything can happen. It's just like we said before. The games have to be played, and that's simple. And on October 5th, we start up ALDS Game 1. And October 7th, we are live. See that segue? Live at Legacy Bar and Grill in Washington Heights. You're going to see a lot of these 3 there. Kev is going to be calling the game with me. Francis is going to be out in the crowd with Jira, crowd cam. A lot of stuff going on there. Could have some special guest appearances. Can't tell you guys about that yet. Matter of fact, I wouldn't tell you guys at all anyway, so sorry. But autograph giveaways coming your guys' way. Happy hour all day. It is going to be, if you're not at Yankee Stadium, you should be at Legacy. Have a lot of updates coming for you guys pretty damn soon here. But Kev, if you want to say something else, and then we're going to jump into voicemails. We got a few of them, and then we're going to wrap up today's show.
I was going to say, I wanted to say Jake Cousins, a batting average against left-handed batters is 132.
Damn.
And that's with
shit.
50 plate appearances. I'm telling you, his slider is nasty against lefties. And Nestor's is 204. So, again, I mean, if we have Nestor and the LCS, I mean, I have no doubt. But if Cousins is there, I feel good with whoever they got. But I just got to say this to you, to the New York Yankees, right? And to the fans. 162 games, a lot of ups and downs, a roller coaster season. There were many times where we said, this team going to freaking collapse. The longest, like, mid-off that we've seen in normally was just the month of August. No, this was going at mid-June. As soon as Cole came back, the team fell on their face. All that the Yankees have suffered and heard, and the players, everything that you hear, all doesn't mean a goddamn thing. You start from now on, and you start counting victories. 11 wins. You win one, you say 10. You win another, you say 9. You keep that fucking count. And no matter what happens in any fucking game, you leave everything on that fucking field. And we'll notice as fans when you play your fucking hearts out. We know it. We've seen it time and time again. This is pinstripe baseball, Bronx baseball. This is the season to be jolly for the fucking New York Yankees. And we have to come through, and you have to bring it in and leave it all on that fucking field. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to see the boneheaded moves. I don't want to hear boom post conferences. I do believe that this is the year that the Yankees, it's something about this team. 2017 was a surprise. 2019 still didn't feel right. This fucking year with Juan Soto, with guys like Jazz, and I'm telling you now, Giancarlo, if Giancarlo is what he's normally in October, holy shit, this fucking team is going to be insane to watch. And we can't give it up enough for our ace, Cole. I think he's going to be phenomenal. So kudos to everybody here in the NYYU community, New York Yankee fans and all. It's been an insane season. Now the agita starts. Now the stress starts. But this is what we live for October. And we just want to see our team leave their heart and soul and sweat on that fucking field, no matter what the fuck happens, man. Let's go, Yanks.
Facts. Big facts. Big facts. Let's get to a couple of voicemails, guys. We're going to wrap up today's show. Here we go with Truth Always.
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on, Yankee chat? What's going on, Pete? The whole Francis, Kevin, everyone, man. With salute to the whole camp. Let's make it happen, man. It's Truth Always. God bless everyone in Jesus' name. I want to say, man, since we're talking about close about committee, we talked about that before. I think we shared that a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago. I believe Luke Weaver might be that closer, man. Just my personal opinion. We got to get this ball rolling, man. And I believe that, I pray to God that Volpe is in the batting cage right now and it's really working on his mistakes, and just like Dominguez, man. But God bless you all in Jesus' name.
Appreciate you, brother. Let's go ahead. And no, you're spot on. Look, I think Luke Weaver is going to be a closer. I don't think you got to worry about that. We got 2 more voicemails, guys. Here we go.
NYYU fam.
Dom.
Pete, Kev, Christian, Francis Lee, Jira, everyone out there. The mission statement remains the same. And guys, on my jukebox, I have something from 1962 I just want to share. Goes like this.
Yeah, Dom.
If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home to me. Yeah. And that's what we got to do, guys. Bring it on home. That's the song. Bring it on home. to NYYU forever. Let's fucking go! Woo!
There he is. There he is, the one and only Uncle Dom. And when you talk about one and only, you got the Macho King. Take us out, Macho. Here we go.
Hey, Knights of the Round Table, Macho King in the house. How you doing? To the underground, yeah. And the youth are going all for life. Well, the time for games is over, and now we're facing the ALDS, and we need to attack and fire on all cylinders. And we know we're on the crazy train of madness right through to the World Series. And Judge and Soto gotta carry this team on their backs and relentlessly attack and never give in and go, 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 despite whatever Bad Boom does or Trash Can does. This team needs to fortify and keep going on to victory. Ooh, yeah. Macho!
There he is, folks. You don't get much better than the Macho King, I'll tell you right now. But guys, you have heard our predictions, and the time is indeed now for the New York Yankees. Everything of the last couple of months is gone. It's over. Personal stats don't mean dick. Everything moving forward is all that matters. Anybody that had a tough year, you got a chance to redeem yourself in a major way. A lot of the guys, Anthony Volpe, a few of these other guys that a lot of people are down on right now, rightfully so, had a tough year. Could have people sitting back going, man, if that's the guy we see next year, we're good. And that's all you have to do, man. Go out there, show up, show out. It's a new season right now. And like Kev said, it is literally 11 wins away. And the New York Yankees will bring home number 28. That's simple. We'll go around the room real quick, guys, and we'll close out. Francis?
Listen, man, it's time. All right. October is upon us. We got some wild card series to watch. No stress involved for us, okay, because we won the division like real teams do. All right. We got that first week bye. We got that top seed in the American League. So we're going to sit pretty and watch these wild card series. But come Saturday, y'all already know what time it is. All right. It's time for the Yankees to get it done, to get 28 done. And y'all know where to be to watch it all. NYYU is the only place that is going to bring you every single out in one way or another for these New York Yankees. We're going to be with you the whole way. We're going to have game seasons for you. We got October 7th, which is going to be an amazing event. I promise you guys, you do not want to miss it. Please be there. Please come chill with your boys. Come watch this game. This is going to be dope, man. We're going to be able to experience a playoff atmosphere together. We're going to be able to create our own playoffs atmosphere outside of Yankee Stadium. All right. It's going to be something that I ain't heard been done before. We're going to do this shit. All right. In the way that only NYYU can. So don't miss it, man. Rock with us the entire postseason. This is the year, guys. All right. Positive thoughts. Manifestation is real. None of that negative shit. Okay. If they lose a game, if there's a bad performance, if a pitcher don't look good, if a hitter doesn't look good, if an injury happens, none of that negative shit. Okay. In 2024, we manifesting this shit. It's been too damn long. Y'all already know the hashtag. Bring it home. And we about that mission, that journey starts on Saturday. So rock with your boys. We're going to take you the whole way through from the first out to the last one.
Big facts. Kev?
Listen, so to Francis' point, I don't want to hear any negativity, right? Yeah, we're going to be reactionary. We're going to talk about it. They're going to be reactionary comments. But after that, we should look at it at level-headed. There's going to be times when guys are not going to do their job. It's just the way it is. Nobody's perfect. But it's a team, so they got to pick each other up. And this is why I'm saying I hope they're in their clubhouse, and I hope that what we've seen from Stroman, from Verdugo, from all those guys when we first started hearing their dogs out there, I hope that we get the dogs. I hope that that's the team that we see out there, the team that doesn't take the foot off their gas, the team that puts their foot to the opponent's neck no matter what and doesn't give a goddamn shit who's in front of them. That's New York Yankees that I want to hear. I don't care who's on the other side. We're running right through them, run through a wall. That's what I want to see. Don't forget that AJ Burnett gave up 7 fucking runs in the World Series, and the Yankees still won that series. So I don't want to hear any negativity. Let's all be ready for this fucking team, and let's put all our energy and positive vibes against this pinstripe team, because it does feel a little different. And let's hope that these guys leave it all on the field. And I'm gonna tell you what, bro.
Hey!
I'm gonna tell you what. If Aaron Boone fucks this up, I'm gonna drive my Percy. He's gonna drive his Bobcat, his Gator, his boa constructor named Salad. All my pets going up there. Look, loose in that clubhouse. Tell you that much.
It's
No
really
Taco
gonna be
Bell,
LeBron
brother.
too.
No Taco Bell.
Well, there you have it, folks. Don't worry. You don't want to see Percy, and you definitely don't want to see Percy on October 7th. All right, so just be careful. Be careful out there. There's rumors. There's rumors out there that there might be some Gators. So I'm just
piss.
letting every
It's my
Gator
drink.
piss. There could be a drink that's Gator
It's a
piss.
moonshine. It's a moonshine, fellas. It's not real Gator piss. Okay.
Not real Gator piss, okay? Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, as always, I got to thank this amazing community here at NYYU. Guys, you've helped us break records already this year, but guess what? We have a long ways to go. And yes, you better believe we got many more game season lives to do with the New York Yankees participating in them. So sit back, relax, as always, enjoy the show, like, share, and subscribe to NYYU, the best in everything New York Yankees related. Until next time, guys, we will see you again very, very soon. Peace out, folks.
Top 10 radar, yeah, we on your radar. Never miss, dog, and that's on occasion. Yeah, we on your radar. Yeah.
Hey,
We on your
look, top floor lifestyle, chef and boy, I'm cooking up. Way too high, ain't coming down. You see me if you looking up. I don't really talk too much, I show them run the numbers up. Lucky that I'm showing up, I'm going off, they know what's up. Wrist too silly, yeah. Numbers crack the Billy, yeah. Don't need no dilly, I'm too fresh, I feel like Willie, yeah. Feel the duffels up the sign, I need a million. I'm about to take off, and I know that I'm on they radar.
top 10